J Squad.
We gotta find now what do we do? That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. We gotta find the program. That's the first clue. We gotta find that's the first clue. That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. We gotta find the program. That's the first clue. We gotta find that's the first clue. That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. We gotta find the program. That's the first clue. We gotta find that's the first clue. That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. We gotta find the program. That's the first clue. We gotta find that's the first clue. That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. We gotta find the program. That's the first clue. We gotta find that's the first clue. That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. We gotta find the program. That's the first clue. We gotta find that's the first clue. That's the first clue. The program. That's the first clue. We gotta find that's the first clue. That's the first clue.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? I don't even know if anyone's gonna show up here at first. the way the way things were going, it didn't look like I was going to uh, get on here today. But I think I at least have it set up um, to be able to make it through stream today. I'll get my power cord on Monday and we'll be good to go. It just got bent up somewhere, so now it doesn't want to actually charge. What are you doing here? Man, let's take a look here. What's going on? What's going on? As you see, I already had everything up because I've been rushing around. So no entrance screen, just us going on and figuring it out. So what's going on? We are living in wild times. Yeah, I've heard, but I haven't looked up anything on it as of today. So we're though going to look at brighter things. I don't know if you call it brighter things, but we're gonna look at other things on the internet today. Finish up with Limus and some of his videos, and then go on from there. So again, welcome. Let me look at something here. I'm trying to fix something else. Boop. Boom, boom, boom. Save dress. No, I don't want that. All right, all right. Comparatively brighter. I guess it depends on how you're looking at it. I don't know that I would necessarily call it brighter, but it is what it is. It is what it is. X. I had to reset some stuff on my computer, but now it's acting all weird. It's telling me I got rid of I got rid of Google. Google was like slowing down my computer so fucking much when I was trying to use it to as a browser. So I don't understand what this even means, but it's not letting me get back on for whatever reason. Oh, I wonder if it's just a sign in. Gmail. How's everyone doing tonight, though? Y'all doing all right? Make sure y'all can't see what I'm doing. There we go. What do you mean it is? Oh. Okay. All right. We're just not worrying about that tonight. We will be doing other things for now. I'll fix that. Good, good. I'm glad. I'm glad. So, if you were here last time, we talked about Limus the slime and how she had a allegations like our let's do the light stuff first. She had the light stuff. She has some pretty bad takes when it comes to like autism in characters and what makes a good autistic character versus what doesn't. When really what she was looking at was just pretty much caricatures of, you know, uh, that have been used forever. The super smart, the savant, the that can't speak but is super smart, different uh, other types like that. Um, and then, we moved on after we learned a little bit about them to their Discord where there was some degenerate things going on. It's like very inconsistent with Limus. She would have a, she would say, hey, you can't have this um, half naked picture. There are kids in here, but then she would post half naked pictures and talk about sex and talk about all these other things. Like just shit you shouldn't be saying in the in the Discord if you're going to have underaged people in there, which I suggest anybody who's over the age of 18 just don't do that. Because it always seems to end in what we've seen last time. Let's take a look here. So, where we ended off last time was Limus's, or we were about to go into Limus's response, but it was already past time a little bit. So we said we do it today. And I've got a couple of other videos over another person that they apologized to. I'll see if I can get the video to work this time. I've had some issues with it, but we might be able to get it up and get it and see what's going on. So, about the Google Doc. Let's see, make sure y'all can see it. This past week, a Google Doc was created about me, making claims that I am an unsafe person and a danger to children. The evidence for these claims includes things like me making crude sex jokes in my public. Let's see what happens with this word right here. Discord server, or me mentioning that I declined a sponsorship opportunity from a sex toy company. The evidence that the documentation provides are paper thin and do not back up any of the claims about me. One of the biggest things the document uses is the fact that there is a 14-year-old in my server who is very active. Yeah, I mean that's what we're showing, right? That there were it wasn't even one, there were multiple minors in it. One of the biggest things in the document, 14-year-old in my server, they made claims that I was luring children, including this 14-year-old, into my server to get them away from the public eye to expose them to my fetishes and kinks. I don't remember any of that. This is something that you were luring them into the Discord. No, you weren't luring kids into your Discord. You were allowing kids to go into your Discord and still doing this degenerate shit that you were doing in there. Sex jokes, lewd photos that you said were okay when other ones supposedly weren't. What else? I don't even want to go into, Pokemon fucking shit and all that other stuff. Like there was clear, I don't remember them ever saying that you were luring them in. They were saying that your space was open to any age, 13 plus, because you have to be 13 to get a Discord. Not that that stops people. And you were doing this kink and fetish shit. To back it up, he is making sex jokes about characters like xenomorphs, which happened over a month before the 14-year-old joined the server. That particular 14-year-old, how many minors do you have in the server? That's what matters, right? You're focusing on this particular 14-year-old, but clearly there's been minors in the server for a while, and you have no problems with minors being in your server. You have no problems with saying the statements and jokes that you say while there are minors in your server. So I don't know why you're focusing on this one 14-year-old that didn't happen to be there during the xenomorph stuff. When I was making these jokes, the size of the server was incredibly small, and there were at most 2 or 3. Are you fucking kidding me? At most 2 or 3 minors. How does that make it any better, bud? How does that make it any better? The youngest was 16. Oh, Jesus Christ. After the server got more popular, I dialed back on everything and stopped making jokes of that nature. The people behind this document have made claims that I groomed this 14-year-old, and they have also never made any attempt to reach out to anyone that they claimed I have groomed to get their testimony. Maybe true. I don't know. I didn't see any testimony. I've said numerous times in my server that I have zero interest in being friends with any of my fans, and I've made that clear in my announcements, which the 2 people who stalked my server failed to look at. So here's the thing, though. It doesn't matter that you didn't, you don't want to be friends with them, whether it's, the textbook definition of grooming, you're doing this shit in your server, right? I want to go back up, but it's to like some of these times. So we got July 2025. So when did their server blow up? Because this is them talking, this is adult content and stuff happening in the server 2025. Mufflin. Wee! Why don't they reach out to the 14-year-old in private? That is a very good point, right? Let's further, make this happen. Like these, when did his server blow up? Was it in the last couple of months? Because we've got dates right here, 7/5/2025. This wasn't that long ago, right? And it doesn't seem like you've curtailed, like, if he stopped saying the jokes in there, which I don't think he did. Let's see where his latest joke was. Jesus Christ, where do I have to get through all of this? 2025. I mean, they're showing dates. 2025. Where was? Yeah, I don't care. We'll go back down in just a second. Okay. Okay, hold on. Sorry. Message coming in there. Now, this is 2024 right here. So it could have been last year that they came up there. But, and this is 2024, October 2024. So even then, not incredibly far. A whole ass dragon. 11, 25, 2024, 2024. So yeah, it looks like what he's focusing on is these messages right here that are clearly 2024, right? So he's trying to say he didn't say that shit anymore, which maybe go through some of these 2024. So yeah, I'll agree with him. It wasn't done on 2024. It doesn't change the fact that it is being done in his server. 2024. Let's see here. Basic. That one it doesn't show, but that's like blue sky. Blue sky. Ivy Pepper. This is the artist that he has that does the fucking art. I wonder if his blue sky is connected to his Discord too. Don't care, don't care. She uses slurs now, and I swear to God, she gets into so much drama. I just chill one day. So that was in 2025. Thank you for bearing with me. So yeah, it looks like they found older stuff, and it may be the truth that she hasn't said anything since uh, later on in the server, right? 2024. Hey, what's going on, HSS? About the 16-year-olds? Someone confronted her about it, and she dead ass was like, "Oh no, a 16-year-old heard a sex joke." There's not eight, dude. They're not eight, dude. Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, that's where the problem evolves from. Is that, yeah, in 2024 she did this, but there were still minors in her server, and she's supposed to say that this is some safe space for underaged people. It doesn't change the fact that it looks like this stuff kept happening into 2026, and these people are still in a server. Like, are they going around and curtailing this now? Have they put something out saying like, hey, we're not doing this? Let's go back to his response. Saw this. I mean, that's 1/3/2025. That's 1/3/2025. One of the best legendaries. I mean, this just looks like Pokemon stuff unless it gets bad. I love TTC, and this is barely the 1% of the robots that are in this game. So yeah, but it doesn't change the fact that there were minors in your thing. And if that's the statement they heard, if you can send me something where they said that statement, that's just unhinged. Let's see. I have groomed to get their testimony. Yeah. That's a retarded statement. I've said numerous times in my server that I have zero interest in being. Okay, but there's a Jesus Christ. There's a difference too, like what we're talking about this, than saying like I'm zero interest of being friends in my Discord, and hey, stop posting fucking degenerate shit that minors can see. This is a minor chat, so it has to be PG, right? People behind this document have no interest in actually wanting to protect children that they think are being preyed upon. That may be true. Otherwise, they would have actually tried to contact people they believe were harmed. No, no, they don't. All right, if you are on the fucking internet and you run into this situation, you should call the police. You should not fucking uh, call the victims and get a hold of the victims. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. There's like, why? Let me continue to cause problems to a minor that may not even know, the situation they're going through. The people behind this document, blah, 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 people like Chest Footsteps and VisiPop. Receipts have helped spread this document around. Both of these people are notorious for spreading false accusations against people. I'm incredibly disappointed and angry. Could you show examples? Like, if you're going to say this, give examples. Prove that they've didn't false accusations, because this is something that anyone does when a Google document comes out about them. That these people spread false information. Well, show it. Break it down and show it. He also hasn't seemed to show these messages in his Discord. It's incredibly disappointed and angry over the fact that people saw this document and believed it. I mean, there's pictures, bud. Google Docky, that's right, Kamoji. Google Docky. We like finishing up some Google Dockies here. The same document that tried to use me not liking the song Not Like Us as some kind of proof to me being a predator. Did they say that? The same document that tries to. Did I miss that? These people don't actually give a shit about preventing abuse. And if you had a hand in creating this document, fuck you, that's all. Proof of me being a predator. No, I mean your takes were unhinged. Where was that at? Maine, horny on Maine. I do not remember that from last time. Most of this document is just you being crazy. Was it up in here? Maybe that's where I missed it. Shrink this down a little. I've heard people mention that like it was so bad that it's the Kendrick and Drake section. She got really weird about it to the point where she stopped the channel for a bit. Oh, so I don't think I read. Let's go back to that. I may have actually skipped that. Da, da. Yeah, 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 yeah. That guy's a pedo. Oh, is it? Yeah, I think we have read through some of this. I wish they would have like. Yeah, I remember this pedo stuff. Okay, yeah. And why talk about pedophiles 28 times? The Pokemon, and it's under this document. As an interesting, albeit completely. Yeah, I think it's said because it was minor. I didn't look it up. Kendrick and Drake situation. It's commonly accepted to that the point of the "Not Like Us" song and is Kendrick calling Drake out as a pedophile. Sure. Oh, okay. Okay. Sure. It's her server, but it's something that shouldn't be ignored given the situation of this service full of minors being exposed sexually. For real, I don't give a shit about two millionaires fighting each other. Yeah, me neither. Uh, that's not what it's about at all. It's about the protection of an art form. Hip hop is art, and when an art is gentrified, flanderized, that's bad. Like imagine if the person who was straight as an arrow claimed to be the king of queer art. That's what Drake was. I guess I have a new goal. Guys, I'm not going to talk about Kendrick and Drake. There's a really good video by a YouTuber named F. Signifier explaining how this beef was absolutely huge for the genre itself. If you want to learn more, there's that, but nah, that shit wasn't a publicity stunt, in my opinion. Talking about it makes me upset. Why does talking about one artist calling another artist a pedo make you upset? there any if there is any insensitive to care about the beef, it's not about two millionaires fighting. It's about the legacy of the art. Because one of the corresponding black culture art was their hip hop, and Drake doesn't have the. So when it says I'm what the culture feels, that's what he means. He's always been much more art focused and brings peace around unlocking this channel in an hour. Jesus. Unlocking this channel in an hour. When I say no more about certain subjects, that means no more. Like, why does this bother him so much? Why get upset over this to the point of locking a channel down? Again, it's her server, but it's very bizarre to get upset over a pedophile being called out very publicly. She also hates Chris Hansen, someone who's called out predators. Okay, this is bullshit though. Like Chris Hansen, yes, there was a show about calling out predators, and they went so far for entertainment that a dude shot himself in the head. Like this Chris Hansen doesn't care about protecting children. Chris Hansen cares about getting people on. Guess the call was coming from inside the house. I guess so. So he had to unplug the line. Like that's just a weird thing to get upset over. There's a reason why To Catch a Predator failed and why everyone exposed on that show are free men today. Oh yeah, that's pretty typical of like the Catch the Predator show ended up being like our modern day predator hunters on YouTube. They really didn't put anybody in jail. They messed up so many cases just for the pure idea of information, and then people ended up getting killed over it, pedo or not. I don't know if he was ever actually proven to be a pedo, uh, but that's where it kind of gets in line with it. So this is I hate people who want to become the next Chris Hansen and not realize that Chris Hansen does not give a shit about stopping predators. He just wants a TV show. This is true. I can't hate the guy on this. Like the EDP stuff. Yeah, like the EDP stuff, like some of those other freaking guys on Kick who were like pouring stuff onto people and things like that. They don't actually give a shit about making the world a better place. They just want predator hunting can get a lot of clicks and views, so they want to do that and they want to play it up because it's really easy to hate predators. So, boom, boom, boom. Where were we? Where were we? Fuck you all. That is all. People rightly called her out, of course. So she makes a Discord, advertises it as being a safe place for children, talks about how much she wants to fuck certain Pokemon, draws lewd images, posts them on Discord, and then accuses people of not caring about the children. Fuck you, that is all. The deflection in this has lost sight. Yeah, I mean, this is just people saying you're wrong. I mean, you can find 100 photos of people saying that this is bad sex ed and adults saying, I want to fuck a bee Pokemon. It's the world is fucking weird. Does she say anything else after this? Oh, she did. She changed. The next day, she shared an announcement that she was making her server 18 plus and said, "Are you happy now?" in a post which she later deleted. Starting now, this server is 18 plus. It's become very clear to me that more issues have been apparent since making this server all ages. I'm sorry if this disappoints a lot of you, but I kindly ask that those that are under the age of 18 please leave the server. Otherwise, we will ban you. Make no mistake, this isn't an admission of guilt. It's more of a, are you happy now? But what does that mean? Are you happy now? I can't have minors in my server. Come on. Yeah, of course, people are going to call her out for that. We'll finish the PvP or PPV next time. What is this? She did end up banning the minors from the server after several days, which turned out to be over 100 members. Oh my God. Just, we're so cooked as a generation. And they'll probably go into another fucked up server by one of these fucked up people that just keeps it open and was disappointed about doing so. 101 members. Wow, the number just got cut almost completely in half. Yeah, I'm pretty sad about it. Why? It sucks, but I believe the server can grow as time goes on. Over 100 people was a with unspecified ages or are minors have been banned or left the server. Here's hoping things are going to be different now. I'm really sorry to say that people who have to leave. I'm so happy you felt happy being in the server, and I hope to see you all again. It's like it's really no accountability for the idea or for what was being done in the server. She doesn't care that this stuff was being put in front of children. She doesn't care that she said it was a safe space for kids to go and then did all this lewd behavior. She only cares that she had to cut out 100 people from her server because now she doesn't have as high a number. Uh, However, she deflects when her unhappiness is no longer having minors on her server. This is a little over the top, as well as her sexual behavior towards them. What? Oh, she talked to the op block. Oh no. Oh, I'm pretty sure this didn't go well for her with Falgi. Limus, it's all chill. I'm just curious. While I have you, why were you so upset that you couldn't have minors on your server? Genuine question. It's a lot of hassle and work going through over 200 Discord members to determine who's a minor and who's not, just because people online cried. Uh, yes. The problem is you didn't set up your server protections to begin with. If you want to have a degenerate server, go the fuck ahead. Set up the blocks to begin with so you don't have to come back later and spend time being called out as a groomer, getting rid of the children that are in your Discord. You're not even like you don't feel bad about it. You feel bad that they made you kick out the minors, which is fucking weird. It is, yeah, very poor choice of words, I would say. Forgive me if I don't have especially when it halts progress of my projects. Okay, it's okay to groom children to expose them to sexual material if you're working on your projects. Forgive me if I don't have a smile on my face when banning them. You're right. It is a hassle to not have minors around when you have mentioned turning down a sex toy sponsorship, discussions of awakening kinks, the artwork that the artwork that may be inappropriate for minors to be around. Why would you ever back down? Wow. So you just ignored everything I said. That sounds about right. No, what you said is fucking retarded. Absolutely brain dead. You're saying that, hey, I'm mad that I had to kick him out because it took time out of my day. Not that I was saying inappropriate stuff in a server that has, people who could be anywhere from the age of 13 to 18, well, to 17, we'll say, of minors. You had over 100 of them. Half of your Discord was minors. And he can say all he or she can say all she wants that she stopped saying that, but was there any precautions put on there to keep people from posting the lewd shit that she enjoyed, the sex talk, the other things? What was happening in the background with other people DMing these minors, right? You don't know all these fucktards in your server. Just like no accountability whatsoever. But not a surprise, not a surprise. She also continues to interact with the minor on Blue Sky, and no surprise there. And prior to making the server 18 plus, she attempted to throw him under the bus for revealing who he was and telling others to read his testimony. So wait. I thought he didn't have. I thought they didn't go. Oh, unpopular opinion. This. Why sexual education was needed to prevent children from going in places of the internet to get harm, but dumbass activists ruined that. Right? Oh, it's the problem is I mean, listen, I absolutely agree something has to be done on like Discord side and all these other companies need to have something. I don't like the idea of ID, right? That just there's too much. That's not to protect kids. That's to get information on the adults, right? Make all of our ID stuff completely 100% under control. Everything we do, everywhere we go, they know where we log in at. But a big portion too is the parents have to stop letting their kids join Discord, these places that people go. I remember talking to my brother-in-law about it. He's just completely oblivious to all the pedophilic stuff that ends up happening on places like Roblox and things like that. And but all of his kids were pretty much like unfettered on Roblox, and I was like, you gotta at least lock that shit down. And even then, there's ways around it, so you need to be careful. And I guess he had said that they were cracking his password or something like that. And I was like, dude, it's because one, it's probably because it's too freaking easy. Two, if that's the case, take it away. Like just no more. Gone. He does have a situation too where one of his kids is not with his current wife. So that's always harder, but still, you got to lock it down when you're there because this is the stuff that happens. Every social media marketed for kids or teens is plagued with groomers nowadays. Yeah, absolutely. I just saw a thing online and I need to find a video on it that was just absolutely unhinged. Oh no, there was a video on it. It was uh oh, what's her face? She was in anyway, I don't remember it. There are I remember Amino. Yeah, there are dating apps now coming left and right that are marketing themselves as the what's that fucking dating app where people get on to fuck? Not Grinder, not the gay one, the one for normal people. Uh, uh, holy shit, what is that thing called? You can tell I've never used it. I've never needed to. Um, Tender. What am I fucking thinking? They were marketing themselves as kids ad. Yes, thank you, Muffin. Thank you, Kamoji. They were literally marketing themselves as Tender for kids. And there was huge problems with them having adults making kids accounts and meeting up with minors. It's fucking insane. So yeah, the problem with anything that's kids is it's automatically going to attract those kind of people. Um, what 14-year-old are we talking about? Because the mention of a 14-year-old is very interesting to me for obvious reasons. I can't speak on the behalf of all the 14-year-olds in the server, but I can say that yeah, the stuff that people are saying is bullshit, and Limus is not a groomer. That's exactly what the groomed would say. No, the document was talking about you. I'm sorry. Then you have Twitter with the Grok thing. Yeah, no kidding. And there's like what? Nothing's been done about that. They've literally had tweets of people undressing minors, and no one seems to be doing anything about that. Oh, I'm sure Blue Skies know better. That's the problem with these deep AI algorithms and stuff like that is we're just doing it completely without any railroads, and it's causing more damage, in my opinion, than it's actually helping with mentally, physically. Uh, the I was reading something about like the AI industry in 2025 used more water than yeah, the Grok thing was extra insane. Well, it's done that twice, like, not even twice. It's done it more than once. This isn't like a new thing popping up. We had Mecha Hitler who was talking about uh, raping a person. Then you've got the Gunnar Grok forming the Grok Antichrist. Then you've got this one where now people are just undressing people online, uh, and it's fucking cooked. Like it's hard for me to believe that someone isn't going to do some class action lawsuit or something like that. Will Stancil versus Grok. That's right. Mecha Hitler. That was unhinged and insane. It was hilarious. It was yeah the Somali justice. We watched a video on it and it's hilarious, absolutely hilarious, but unhinged. Right? Imagine being Will and seeing all of that stuff and it sending it to him because it was adding him too, wasn't it? It honestly makes me upset that I'm involved in this. You are just a streamer who I like, and then so yeah, it's the groomed. And so I joined your Discord. That doesn't mean anything, but apparently to everyone else it does. Uh, and it pisses me off so much. People are fussing over me being in your Discord, and I hate this. Yeah, no app is safe for kids anymore. Oh, 100%. It's 100, and I doubt any app was ever safe for kids, right? Because even if you look at all the shit going on now, like it was completely bonkers when I was a kid, in my teens getting online and finding all sorts of fucking shit that's out there. I'm sure there's still stuff going on, but I don't want to say it's safer because I don't think it really is, especially when you read stuff like this. Like this kid saying, it's like, I don't understand why they're so mad. We're mad because you shouldn't be in a server with all of these lewd photos and all of this other bullshit. Read blank own testimony. Calling a 14-year-old feeling like he has to protect you, a grown ass adult, a testimony is disgusting. Holy shit. Like you don't understand what we're saying about grooming kids, right? You realize that when a kid is groomed, they're groomed into liking the person so that when they become of a quote unquote legal age, it's not that bad. We used to have somewhat of a gentleman agreement over kids' spaces being safe online, while everything else was the Wild West back in the early 2000s. Yeah, I could probably agree to that. It was never safe back in the day. They really hammered that into us that the internet wasn't safe. Yeah, I mean, I can remember seeing things on the internet that I probably shouldn't have seen at 13 years old, right? Things that would be harder to see now, except in these like discords and other places where people get pulled in. Uh, you know, and with that, even places like Discord and stuff like that do have some measures. Like I'm pretty sure if you started a gore porn Discord, it would eventually get shut down. They will shut you down for slurs, other things like that. But I don't know how good like the AI algorithm is, or if it's all based on reporting. With the old kid spaces being pretty much gone, they all migrated to social media, and social media has been a bane for children, especially. I mean, adults too. Adults are constantly getting groomed now by our government online. So my government online, probably all of y'all's too. Let's see here. The miner went on Reddit to try and defend Limus, and there's key things about it. The miner admitted both that there were DMs. Wait, did I miss that? Linus is okay. Maybe they're gonna show it. Were DMs and that Linus had been sexual around minors. I've never been in contact with them, nor was I ever sexual to them. But go off, I guess. I called out predators before, and she's not predator. If she was a predator, then I would say so. Is this is the same kid? You don't fucking know. If like you most grooming victims. No, it's next. Thank you. I'm guessing HSS. You've got a lot of experience with this. Yeah, you don't. If you're a kid, you don't understand that kind of stuff. You don't really understand the grooming part of it until you become older, because a lot of it is trying. Like the whole point of grooming is trying to skirt the lines of legality. I'm gonna be your friend, and I'm gonna make you used to these sexual things, these other stuff, because I know it could possibly affect you in my favor. It's unhinged fucking shit. She's not a predator. Of course, she said sexual things around minors, and that's not okay. But that doesn't mean that she is a predator, regardless of if you think she's a fucking predator or not. This right here is enough to say she is. She's saying sexual things around minors. I'm sorry for the things I said earlier. I was up late last night, hours before. I had a panic attack because of other reasons, so I was not feeling great. It just makes me angry that I'm being used as a tool by people to accuse this person of grooming. Uh, I know that the doc didn't say that she was grooming. You see how like the defense goes for it too? Look, they're saying I'm a groomer. I'm not a groomer. I'm not a groomer. I'm not a groomer. Well, you are talking sexually around minors. And I do believe that some of the things she did and concerning like saying sexual things around minors and calling people at the zoo, because are calling people a zoo because they like dragons, even though she likes dragons. I don't believe those people are anthropomorphic. Okay. Yeah, I mean this kid's completely fucked. Thank you for being concerned. God, this kid is like just fucking digging the grave for Limus. Uh, I do know how crazy this is, and I don't feel like I'm a victim. Most don't until they're older. Sometimes they never do. It doesn't change the fact that you were groomed. She never said anything to me in DMs except for like stuff about being timed out. I would show you to prove my point, but the DMs are closed, so I can't. It's a bad look no matter what. Yeah, it's a bad look no matter what. You are still saying this stuff and showing this stuff in a Discord that you have admitted is for minors. Panic attacks are no jokes. Vex, Limus's boyfriend, blocked the minor. Limus refused to. Um, I forgot he was following me. It's been done. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. The minor admitted continuing to react to Limus's out of spite, flip flopping between telling Limus she didn't do anything wrong and admitting she was sexual to minors. Why are you still in contact? I didn't get the. I've never been in contact with them, nor was I ever sexual to them. Yeah, we've seen that. Not gonna lie, I'm kind of doing it out of spite at this point. You didn't do anything wrong, and people say, but you did, right? He clearly did do something wrong. Or she. I'm sorry, she. Let me get my shit together. They just want me to be the victim so badly they will say any type of shit. Just what a groomer would say, a groomed would say. This is all too much for me. I'm really upset and I wish the stupid document was never posted. I really wish it was never posted. I'm sorry, and I'm not being groomed. And Limus is not a pedo. And I hate everyone involved in making the stupid fucking document. Out of context screenshots, and it's all clear information on how Limus is not capable of dealing with children and how toxic and unstable whole environment is. Just because you don't feel weirded out doesn't mean others feel the same. A child had a panic attack in there and was put in timeout. I timed them out because they were starting to lash out at other members. I don't care about that really. That was completely on me, blah, blah, blah. Let's see here. Yeah, I know that was completely. Oh, okay, hold on. No, it wasn't. It was not your fault. None of your panic attacks were your fault. You are a child. This is true. Please do not think that way. Limus is not a parent. This is scaring me. Yeah, I know that was completely on me. I deserve it. You're good. You didn't do anything wrong. I'm sorry that people are speaking on your behalf. Like he's actively defending the child that he's been doing that she's been doing sexual that she's had sexual conversations in the Discord with that she's been going back and forth on it. I find it ironic how Limus was talking shit about Hasbin Hotel about being tone deaf as they are doing the same thing. Yeah, and it's probably even worse than the show, right? This is not even probably, it is objectively worse than the TV show, being tone deaf about, uh, about victims. I don't think people are really taking me seriously because you're a kid, bud. I wrote something, but I don't even think that people are going to take that seriously, and it sucks a lot. And as of August 31st, the minor is still trying to defend Limus. So, yeah, this is the 14-year-old who Limus groomed. Should not be asking completely random strangers to talk to him on Discord. What the fuck did Limus do? Well, shit about Linus is back up again. Touch grass. But seriously, though, my DMs, I think, are open on Discord. Please do contact me. If not, my friends' requests are. Ask me whatever because this is stupid. Honestly, I don't give a fuck. But it feels like I have to. You need a parent in your life to fucking step in and turn that fucking computer off. Um, this is fucking irritating, pissing me off. Because if this was my kid, ooh. It's the problem. This stuff is always unhinged and crazy, but it hits so much different when you have kids. As of September 4th, the minor claimed they would stop interacting with Limus because Limus still made those mistakes to apologize for, though they still see Limus as the victim. We don't know if they're interacting via DMs. Okay, I think I understand. I will stop interacting with Limus, not because she is a predator, because as the victim, I don't think she's a pret. How can she be the victim? But she has done other things that I think she should apologize for instead of fleeing. I don't know what she is going through, but she has to learn from her mistakes. Yeah. More information regarding Limus and minors interacting is cataloged on the Tumblr. Your parents, it freaks me out. You shouldn't, in a strange grown adult. We saw that one. Please talk to your parents or a trusted IRL adult about this. This isn't healthy. Yeah, this is just people trying to, hey, kid, you don't need to be doing this. Okay. Do you see? One thing I can say is like, I understand what people are going to say in this, right? Give me the dirty down low of what's going on. No, you did not deserve to be timed out. She was dangling a carrot in front of your face. She did not care about your panic attacks. I mean, that's probably true. And this person makes a good point about Darvo deny, attack, refuse, reverse victim, and offender tactics. Yeah. The Vizzy Pop criticism community falling apart mere days before Mission Zero, and the new short is absolutely goddamn poetic. The Vizzy Pop criticisms. It screams parasocial for the kid to defend Limus. Yeah, and it screams like grooming. Like they have been taught that Limus is to be protected. Like how else do you put it? Like what else is there out there that is happening? Is this kid lying about the DMs, saying that there's nothing in the DMs, but I can't show you because my DMs are locked, right? I could very well see, and this is all allegedly, right? We're going to say allegedly here. I can very much see there being more to this, or thinking that there would be more to this. And it's like every step of the way, Limus has proven that she does not care about the minors in her server. It's all about what she wants to talk about. Like, why does she need minors in her server while she wants to have these conversations? That's my ultimate question. Why, Limus, do you need these minors in your server? There isn't a reason. Well, there is a reason, but not a reason that she would want to admit to. Limus claims that she wants to stay safe for her audience, which just so happens to include a large number of minors. She calls to have lacked this kind of showing space. However, even assuming nothing but the best intentions, Limus is not a parent, professional, blah, 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 blah. She's a YouTuber. Yeah, don't believe YouTubers. They're just as stupid, if not more stupid than the rest of the world. The minor she most interacts with still likes her posts to this day. Yeah, it's just this is why is this minor constantly around and being brought up, right? As shown in the docs, Limus has been encouraged by others on multiple occasions to keep the adult content hidden with the adult role. Every time she refused. That's another thing too. Bringing it up is she could have simply said, "Hey, these two areas are 18 plus. This is where all the 18 plus. I still don't think that's right. I don't think they should be in your server to begin with, but it would at least be something." But she absolutely was like, "No, I don't want to do that. That just sounds like work. I would rather talk about fucking anthropomorphic sex than, put my, look at the safety of my minors. I bet a lot of Has-Been Hotel fans were happy when Limus got exposed. Classic virtue signaling backfiring when it's left unchecked. Yeah, yeah, I could see that. I could see them definitely jumping on top of this the moment that it happened. At best, Limus is misguided and deeply hypocritical. At worst, she knows exactly what she's doing when she invites these children away from the public eye and exposes them to all the sexual kinks she routinely attacks others for. Either way, it's a dangerous situation that couldn't be allowed to operate in the dark any longer. So that's the Google Docie. Here's like, it's this one's weird to me because they call out like other behavior as being bad. Uh, HH fans actually barely cared about this. It was bizarre. Her ex friend, Blackish, even said that no one brought up the doc and that's what they should have been saying. No, really. That's interesting. I actually just recently heard about Blackish too as being one of her defenders. Let's hold on. Let me pull up. I mean, it's how long between this coming up and well, I guess they kept updating it. Did the op block take it up? Probably pretty soon. But then again, it's like they're small potatoes in terms of most commentary in terms of commentary channels in general. Not that there's a lot of huge commentary channels. Most of them are pretty bullshit. Let's see here. Limus, how not to be a YouTuber. Limus, the fake apology, and why you shouldn't buy it. Angel Dust, how to. So I did see that there is some drama with this Marco Strange guy. Issues with them and how not to write a victim of abuse. Yeah, it looks like they were talking about their victim of abuse stuff. Limus, how not to be a YouTuber. And there was an apology. So let's see if we can get the apology to work. Let's see if we can get this apology to work this time because it was not. I don't even know where you would think any of this was okay. I mean, they're probably actually didn't they admit to being a victim themselves? And that's usually where it comes from.
This video is meant.
All right. So this is a supposed apology. I may be going in the wrong order on this one. I had trouble getting this to where we could watch it. Oh, Limus never apologized for this. Her reaction shown in the document was all there was. She's back on YouTube pretending she didn't happen, or it didn't happen, and deleted all comments pertaining to it. That doesn't surprise me. So this is just a separate drama then about the has-been stuff that they did. The apology video is about other things unrelated to this. That's nuts. That's nuts. Is that having to do with that one guy? Because this is probably like the least unhinged stuff then. Well, let's listen to it. Let's see if I can bring it. Yes, about Marco Strange. So what's the significance with the Marco Strange? Was it just a drama that went back and forth? So that's the case. I feel like this is the light stuff. Media player. There we go. Because I saw he made a video. Let's pull that up. Because I'm more interested in this person. So, my opinion, this person's completely unhinged. Doesn't need to have a Discord, right? And obviously, just it's so funny how this will happen, where you'll just something like this will happen, and then nothing else will happen outside of it. It can just be ignored, and this person could easily just go back in and start another Discord, or talk to these people on the back end, right? Because all we have right now is them saying that there were no DMs back and forth with minors, but there's clearly been, behavior out in the open that they thought was okay. Boom. Absolutely nuts. We'll go into this other stuff because I had it on the document, but I don't think it's going to be as interesting. I was under the impression there had been more response to how not to write a victim of abuse. What's the
For those
1 year ago? Yeah, this is almost a year ago when all this stuff happened.
who recently,
Okay, all right. Boop. We'll pop this up here. And go down here. Angel dust. Yeah, we should have watched all this angel dust stuff first, just to get more of an idea of how slime interacts with other people. I mean, it's very clear, complete deflection when it comes to this kind of content, to the point that they're letting a minor protect them.
I made a video about angel dust from Haspen Hotel, which was a response to Limus's video on him being an example of how not to write a victim of abuse. While I had my own feelings about Limus, I did my best.
That's not the right one. This is the
Who
one.
don't know, Limus is a YouTuber who recently made a video titled How Not to Write a Victim of Abuse. In it, they said Angel Dust was a horrible character and that he got them to stop watching Haspen Hotel after episode
We're
4.
pulling up the game
While I
too.
encourage discourse, I have multiple problems with their video, and I plan on going through that today. Anyways, this will be a long video, so let's jump into it. It starts with Limus going on about representation in media.
I don't think it goes without saying, but representation
long
is
video, it's
important for
14
any
minutes.
source of fiction. People of a particular group want to feel seen and understood, and most of all, not feel like they are alone. And that's why good representation is important.
Regarding their point here, representation can be important. A character representing people can be an essential part of any series. And if people can relate to a character, it makes them more invested in a series. Sometimes I became invested in a series simply because I related to a character I saw that was part of it. Regarding what I have to say, though, representation is good, but it shouldn't be the most important thing to you when making a series.
Yeah, this
I'm
is
not
what I
saying you
said.
can't have
I mean, that's what I said about it. It's like it shouldn't be the focus of the series. It can be, a part of it. I mean, I guess there are situations where it could be, but I don't feel like that should be your favorite thing about it. Oh, I really loved this movie because it had more minorities in it, right? What's the actual substance of the content?
representation. By all means, if you want a character of a different race or gender than the norm, you have every right to make that. However, if you're only making a series just to make a character be a good representation of a particular group, then you're doing it wrong. What matters to a person who's checking out any media is the story. One way to tell a good story is to show a character with clear flaws who needs to improve. Why am I bringing that specifically up? Because their hate for Angel Dust seems to be due to his flaws.
Angel Dust is one of the only homosexual characters in the
I agree,
entire
that
show.
goes
His
for
entire
both
gimmick
sides,
is that he's a
especially when
washed-up porn
companies
star
compare both
slash
sides, yeah.
prostitute drug addict. Already his character is just reinforcing negative gay stereotypes.
I want to clarify that I'm not defending how Angel Dust acts in Haspen Hotel. I use the term flaws because they are flaws in his character, and everything Limus says about Angel Dust as a character is true. He is a hypersexual drug addict, and those aren't good traits about him. To add to that, if I were Husk, I would also feel uncomfortable around Angel Dust because of how he acts. But that's also my point about what makes him a good character. Instead of someone with no flaws, Angel Dust is someone with clear issues he has to work through. Again, he's hypersexual and constantly hits on characters despite seeing that it makes him uncomfortable. He's also a drug addict who engages in self-destructive behavior. Before moving on, I
It
want to
always
mention that
felt like when I was watching the first video, like their concern was like you can't show in all the stuff that she talked about. It's like you can't show negative aspects of a character. It's always has to be positive of that representation, right? When that's not how life works.
Limus's whole problem seems to be that angel dust is a negative stereotype to them. However, they look like a hypocrite considering they made this comment in the video about Hazbin Hotel.
Hazbin Hotel is already a pretty controversial show for valid and invalid reasons. And no, the show isn't bad because the word fuck is used more times than a drunk in an Irish pub.
Isn't that a negative stereotype about the Irish? Mine specifically said Irish pub. Is that supposed to imply that only Irish pubs are the ones that overserve you alcohol to the point you're constantly dropping F-bombs for no reason? Again,
Yeah,
it
I mean,
seems
she's trying to
hypocritical
do
that they'll
edgy
complain
humor
about
there,
angel
but I
dust
get
being a
it.
negative stereotype, while also using one out of nowhere. What's even sadder is their reasoning as to why it's harmful to have angel dust in the series.
And call me a snowflake all you want, but when your general audience of the show is like below the age of 13, then I do think it's important for you to have good representation in order to not send a bad narrative.
Not only is Limus's complaint dumb, but it's one of the dumbest complaints I've ever heard about anything aimed at adults. They seem to forget that series like Hazbin Hotel are specifically for adults, not kids.
You hate society yet lives in one. Ass argument. Yeah. Well, it's like again, kids shouldn't even watch that show. Yeah, it's not designed for kids, and but because it's a cartoon, it's that's always the problem that it's marketed. Oh, it's marketed to kids because it's a cartoon. Well, no, shows can be like anime is the thing I always think of. I remember watching some very dark anime uh, when I was younger that I probably shouldn't have watched at my age, but it wasn't made for kids, right? Just because it's cartoons.
Hazbin Hotel isn't supposed to be for a younger audience, and Vivzy Pop has made that clear for a long time. If she wants to make a series targeted to that age group one day, that's fine. However, she shouldn't have to change her series because parents are letting kids watch something they're not supposed to be watching. After
True.
complaining more about angel dust being a harmful stereotype, they discussed their biggest issue with angel dust and what made them stop watching the series. Before that, though, they made a comment that I've seen some people talk about that is worth addressing.
I am a victim of this kind of abuse myself, and I don't owe you or anybody else watching an in-depth explanation of it. It's my story to tell, and I'm not going to
Parents,
tell
why
it
is
here.
my kid like
I'm
this?
bringing this up to make it clear that I have...
Dude, absolutely. Like, all right, there's a fine line. Like, I've watched Jurassic Park with my daughter, right? It's obviously she isn't old enough for it. She's 8 technically, but I wouldn't go watch, something that had sexual content in it. Like to me, the Jurassic Park is very tame. Like you have to take control of your kids and be like, hey, guess what? This is not a democracy. This is not a republic. This is a fucking dictatorship. Where I'll give you more control as you prove to me that you're mature enough for it, right? Oh man. Uh-oh. That's something. Oh god, this is not good. You get in there. Okay, we're using these. I'm gonna fix that. You're gonna come in here and fix this one. Oh, why'd you go that way? Get out of here. Hold on. We gotta save my shit before we get back to it. If you haven't played this game yet, I mean it is pretty damn good. Boom, 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 boom. No, fix the breaches first. Go in there. Let's fix the breach. Oh, get out of here. Come here. Come here, you. Let's fix that breach with that. Boom. Oh, don't lose anybody. Okay, y'all gotta get in here. That was something. I already lost a guy. Y'all go down here and fix that. My parents didn't allow me to watch a lot of things until they trusted me. Yeah, that's what it was with me, right? There were some things I was allowed to watch. You definitely don't need to follow the guidelines put out for most things, but like yeah, you judge what you think your kids should watch, and that can be, I guess, a contention of disaster, knowing that or part that could be a disaster. Where is my big boy? Did he die? Oh, there's the exile inside, bud. if you have bad parents. But I mean, it's bad parents just letting them run all over the internet. Well, I'll let my kid do whatever they want on the internet. It's safe, right? It's safe.
Valid criticisms of this show and this character as a survivor myself.
I want to make one thing clear about this.
I'll say this thing like as a survivor myself. You're trying to use your victimhood to see I'm the one that knows the truth because I've been through it. Don't fucking tell people your shit online. We don't need to know your abuse stories and your other things like that. It doesn't make you look knowledgeable about the situation.
This video. While I disagree with Limus's comments, I'm in no way implying that I don't believe them when they say they've been a victim of abuse. I'll take their word for it because whether they are or not doesn't change my opinion of their complaints about Angel Dust, especially when they talk about the importance of having a character going through abuse like this.
See, VivziePop decided to make Angel Dust a victim of sexual assault. His recovery is a plotline in the show, and I don't have an issue with this on paper. Not only do I think it's important to represent male victims of abuse, but also queer men who were victims of it. Men, both gay and straight, have been victims of sexual assault, and it's something that hasn't been properly recognized in society.
Before this, I brought up how they were complaining about Angel Dust being a negative stereotype, and that one of the reasons was because he's hypersexual. Now, I admit I'm not a victim of sexual abuse. But one of the comments I've seen in response to Limus was people saying Angel Dust was hypersexual because he's a victim of that. I didn't want to use a random tweet as reference, so I did my own research to comment on this. I found a few websites discussing this, including the one on screen from ISSM.info. ISSM, or the International Society for Sexual Medicine, was founded in 1978 and studies the medicine of human sexuality. The article I'm showing on screen is related to the effects sexual abuse can have on a person, starting with the first line. Sexual abuse at any age may predict hypersexuality in both men and women, researchers report in Journal of Sexual Medicine.
I mean,
However,
what do they call it?
The
Back in the day, they used to call
men
this like
who have
a
experienced abuse as
nymphomaniac.
children and adolescents/adults. The article goes on to say this: hypersexual individuals experience sexual urges and behaviors that are difficult to control, causing great distress. Sexual thoughts and actions may be so frequent and intense that they interfere with a person's ability to work and manage everyday life. Relationships often suffer.
That'd be crazy. That's like I absolutely believe that that this is a thing, but it's a crazy statement to be like, I'm so horny I can't work.
The point of bringing this up is to return to Limus complaining about Angel Dust being a negative stereotype. Again, I agree what he's doing is negative, but that's the point. He has these flaws for a reason, and complaining about it and just saying it's only a negative stereotype is missing the point of Angel Dust as a character. They see a negative stereotype. I see a victim of abuse who engages in destructive behavior because of their abuse. This is ironic because Limus praises episode 4 for showing the abuse and how it reflects on what the porn industry does to people.
The one good thing I have to say about the writing for this episode is that a lot of this abuse is comparable to the real-life abuse that the porn industry conducts on their actors. And to give credit where credit is due, the show does a good job at portraying that, even if it's a little over the top.
However, it's immediately done away when they get into what follows after that scene.
The song Poison is just Angel Dust singing about being abused and how he is helpless to it. Is it a sad melodramatic song with slow and meaningful instrumentals? No. It's a techno dance song that removes any sort of seriousness that the song may have. It doesn't help that the music video has scenes of Angel Dust essentially being abused right in between scenes of him dancing like it's a Kesha music video.
So full disclosure here, I'm not a fan of the song Poison. Not for the reasons Limus states here, I'm just not a fan of the genre they use for the song. However, I think the genre works in its favor, despite Limus thinking the opposite. Things are done intentionally in a series, regardless of how small they might be. The way a character talks, their outfit, even their color pattern are all done for a reason. That also includes why a song is made the way it is. Now, I can either assume it's supposed to be a dance number for everyone to want to dance to, or I can look deeper and ask why these choices were made here. And like Angel does, the song is an act. Angel Dust is singing and dancing like he's enjoying everything. However, when you look closer, you see him looking scared, and hear lyrics that say Angel is putting on an act.
I got so good at telling you what you wanna
It just rubs me the wrong way that Limus makes this comment afterward, but says Poison isn't allowed to be like that.
And look, I get
Yeah.
that there are songs out there with serious lyrics and messages that sound upbeat and cheerful.
Again, it feels like Limus doesn't take a deeper look, it just assumes the song was supposed to glamorize the things that it's doing the opposite for. There are multiple scenes in which Angel shows his discomfort, and other lyrics tell you that he isn't enjoying this. Yes, the song is upbeat, but that's because Val is telling him to look happy and do what he says. Otherwise, Angel will face the consequences. Moving on, Limus starts to complain about Angel's self-destructing behavior.
Angel Dust's way of coping with it is undeniably unhealthy, and it really doesn't help when this unhealthy coping mechanism is so glamorized.
I mean, some of this we already talked about. He's hitting a lot of the same points that I am. Yeah, it is unhealthy because that's kind of the whole point. They're showing the unhealthy side of it, and going from there. It's not about showing the good side, I guess. It's to show that hardship. Maybe that's just me, though.
Throughout the entire show, that jokes are being made about it constantly. Let me make this very clear. This is not okay. Self-destructing is not how you deal with trauma. It will only make things worse. I'm saying this because it's very obvious the show is afraid to explicitly say it.
So the show is afraid to show how unhealthy self-destructing is, despite the fact you just showed a clip of Angel Dust admitting why they're self-destructing? I'm genuinely curious how a series could be scared to do that, despite the fact you just showed Angel Dust breaking down. The only thing that bothers me more is Limus' comment saying that the show glamorizes all of this. If your reaction to this episode is that the show is glamorizing any of the abuse and self-destructive behavior shown, you have a problem. I don't know how anyone could watch Angel being abused by Val, admit to disassociating to cope with what
Well, I mean, have you seen the Discord?
what's going on in Poison, see them break down and explain why they're self-destructive, and come to the conclusion that this is glamorizing all of that. This is the kind of comment someone makes without taking a deeper dive into a series and just views things on a surface level. And that's an issue when you want to be a reviewer on this platform. Unfortunately, things don't get much better when they talk about the other song in this episode, Loser Baby.
Loser Baby isn't as bad as Poison, but it's still really tone deaf. It's another upbeat song, except this time it's about how your abuse isn't unique.
After us listening to it, I think Loser was the more tone deaf and worse, right? The show's problem isn't that it's afraid to show things, it's that it's inconsistent. Sure. I mean, I would have to go back and watch it again, because I don't remember, but I could see that being the thing. I mean, I guess even in that situation where they talk about the dark side of her trauma, or her trauma, and saying, you're showing the abuse and singing to it, and then immediately going to a song that we're all losers, and deal with it. Yeah, I could see that's pretty inconsistent just in that short moment.
You need to stop whining like a bitch and find company in other people who are in the same situation as you. What a great message to send.
Loser Baby isn't Husk telling Angel Dust that their issues aren't unique and that he should just suck it up. He's telling him that he understands Angel is going through something horrible and that he knows from experience that talking about it can help.
But letting walls down, it can sometimes set you straight.
From experience, talking about the problems I had and still do does help. It lets me know that I'm not alone and makes it easier to open up when needed. I'll also add that it's harmful to hear Limus make this complaint about the song.
It doesn't even work in this show's context, because it's comparing Angel and Husk's situations like they are at all similar. I'm sorry, but Angel Dust being forced into sexual actions against his will is not the same as Husk betting all on black and losing.
The point isn't that they're supposed to go through the exact same thing to relate to each other. It's that they relate because their circumstances are similar. I agree that how they ended up in their situations and what they're forced to do is different, but it's still them forced into slavery for an overlord. Also, if Limus hadn't stopped watching when they did, they would have seen that Alistair wasn't afraid to threaten Husk the minute he got out of line. This happens in the next episode, showing that while Alistair isn't shown to be as bad as Valentino, it's not exactly a good thing that Husk is forced to serve him. Anyway, we're close to the end of this. Limus goes back to complaining about Angel Dust and making the same complaints about Poison. Then they make this complaint.
Abuse is not something to be fetishized, and being a survivor of it is not an aesthetic, nor is it as glamorous as the show tries to make it look in musical numbers. It's something that sticks with you for the rest of your life.
While Limus argues that the show glamorizes abuse with having a flawed character like Angel Dust and songs like Poison, the reality is it's the opposite. Angel has those flaws I mentioned earlier because he's a victim, and we see that sometimes happens to victims in similar situations. However, Angel isn't being praised because someone thought him being abused was hot. He's praised because people relate to him, and he improves as time goes on. Limus complained that Angel hits on Husk and constantly harasses him. I agree that this is bad. However, Angel stopped doing that to Husk after episode 4, and they become friends. Also, after their talk, we don't see Angel harassing people anymore about sleeping with them. The closest we get is him hitting on Lucifer when he meets him.
And this is Sir Pentious and Angel Dust, our guests.
Your Majesty! Hey, you short king.
Considering how Angel used to act, I'd call this a definite improvement. Angel even gets questioned about not doing stuff he used to in episode 8.
Last day of Afterlife, and you're not off snorting a line off some hunk's abs?
You fucked one cannibal pool boy, you fucked them all.
I guess you have changed.
I know Limus said they stopped watching after
It's
episode
almost like
4
they tried
and
to do the
didn't see that,
conflict.
but I'd
Also,
argue
like
that's
2 episodes
precisely
later,
why you
Husk
shouldn't
tells Angel
judge
that he's
Angel the way
disgusted
they
and
did.
disappointed by the person
Angel
he
started
is.
with serious
Oh,
flaws.
really?
He's working to fix
Jeez.
them. We're also seeing him fix said flaws thanks to having a healthy support system with Charlie's Hotel.
Well,
I made this
yeah, that's true, Redstain. Like it's not easy. It's very easy to write these stories and make it end up bad. Not, not in a good way. Just be tone deaf and stuff like that. It's much harder to write these very very hard subjects correctly, or in a way that is correctly, because there's a lot of ways it could be correct.
video because I disagree with Limus's comments and wanted to explain why I view Angel Dust as an inspirational character. I also relate to Angel Dust being a victim of abuse because I have a history of being abused too. It's not the same abuse as what Angel goes through, but that doesn't change the fact that he could be inspirational for anyone who's ever been a victim of abuse. That's why I'm happy that he exists and why I think he's a great character. I wanted to address another part of Limus's video, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to get into that. Also, I think it would be better to do a separate video on it. Again, I'm unsure if I will, but you might know what I'm talking about. For now, I'm leaving the topic here.
All right, so there was that video. Then, boop. Let's go about here. It looks like Limus, my issues with, this is the next one. My response to how to not to write a victim. My issue with them and how not to write a victim of abuse. Oh, I guess so they did bring up the next portion
Recently, I made a video about Angel Dust from Hazbin Hotel, which was a
I guess
response
they
to
did
Limus's
decide to do
video
the extra
on him
part of
being
it.
an example of how not to write a victim of abuse. While I had my own feelings about Limus, I did my best to keep the video mostly on Angel Dust. After all, my video responded to why Limus was wrong about him. I also knew that talking about Limus should be its own video instead. Despite being on the fence about doing a Limus video, a few comments I received had convinced me it was worth doing on why I disliked them. Like my Angel Dust video, there's a lot to go through, so let's jump into it. To start, I first heard about Limus where I saw people complaining about a video titled How Not to Write a Victim of Abuse and saw Angel Dust in the thumbnail. At this point, the hate that Hazbin Hotel gets doesn't surprise me, so I didn't think much of it. However, I was bored and thought, if nothing else, I could make my own video about it like my wife's video from Ruby Ice Queendom. I won't go into their video too much, simply because that's what my Angel Dust video did, but I'll try to summarize. Limus's video feels like they've never heard the term analysis before. Their hatred for things like Angel Dust as a character, or songs like Poison or Loser Baby, seems to be because they can't analyze any of that. Their video feels like they walked into the series with a bad impression of Angel Dust and didn't want anything to change their mind. Let's start with their problems with Angel Dust. In my original video, I pointed out that Limus's biggest complaints were due to Angel's flaws, which were how he's a homosexual who's both hypersexual and a drug addict. Their biggest reason for hating that was saying that Angel's flaws are a harmful stereotype of homosexual males in real life. Again, these are flaws, and I'm not defending them. However, great characters have flaws. Think about if Angel Dust didn't have any. Wouldn't that be such a fun story if Angel Dust didn't have those to show he's an actual person? If Angel were perfect like Limus seems to want, fans would be asking why he was in hell. I know the
Okay.
counter to this is that Limus only complains
I mean,
about those flaws being
this is just kind of going over like the same thing. Like Linus doesn't like anything other than positive characters. They can't be negative if they're of a minority or group that they want him to represent. And I mean, that's just kind of what I was saying already.
offensive. However, part of my video was also explaining how hypersexuality could be a symptom of sexual abuse, which we know Angel is a victim of. I find it weird that Limus will claim to be a victim, but complain about the series exploring victims who are also hypersexual. It comes off as them wanting victims, only portrayed in a certain way. As for the drug addict thing, I know this may be shocking to Limus, but anyone can become a drug addict, including homosexuals. Even this article from AmericanAddictionCenters.org says homosexuals are 12 times more likely than heterosexuals to try amphetamines, and 10 times more likely to try heroin. This sounds like Limus has a certain way they want victims presented, and it's not to their liking.
I think he's
They
trying to say
consider
that
it
Limus is going
offensive.
through
Speaking of what they
emotional
consider
talking points.
offensive, let's talk about poison.
Claim to be the victim. This whole
Limus's
thing
poison
was so
critique
shitty on
was
both
one of the
sides.
reasons I wanted to make a video in the first place. If overanalyzing is a thing, Limus proves that underanalyzing is a thing. In a way, it's a reverse of Enter's original Turning Red review. Enter overanalyzed Turning Red, saying that because it took place in the early 2000s and in North America, 9/11 would be on people's minds, including increasing security at places like schools. In comparison, Limus ignores things that otherwise disprove their arguments. For example, there's the line I played in my original video and the song's ending.
Poison, I'm sick of the poison. Wish I had something to live for tomorrow.
As for which is worse, I'd argue it's worse to ignore evidence instead of looking too much into it. Also, at least Enter got better. I don't believe Limus will ever think they were wrong for underanalyzing, especially since their whole video is full of that. Besides Angel Dust as a character and the song Poison, Limus gets the same treatment to Loser Baby. I'm convinced that they heard the title of it and hated it before listening to it. Again, they complained that Husk is telling Angel Dust to suck it up because they're not special, despite the fact there's more than one line in the song telling Angel that they're both going through things, and talking about it is better than pretending no one can relate to you. At this point, I'm sure the only reason Limus knows one song, Glory from Rent, involves talking about AIDS is because there's a scene during the song where the person finds out they're HIV positive. Considering how they underanalyze everything in their video, it's safe to assume that's very likely. Despite all that, Limus underanalyzing things isn't my biggest issue. There's something worse they do. That's how their status as a victim seems to cause them to make harmful claims. Again,
Harmful
I don't
claims.
think Limus
I could tell you one thing that I hate is just this word, like make harmful claims. Like, let's see what these harmful claims are. I don't know that I saw that or said that in my analysis.
is lying about being a victim. I don't know if they are, but I'll give them the benefit of the doubt that they're telling the truth. I also agree that victims handle abuse differently, and that's my issue with Limus. Many of their complaints are about hating how Angel Dust deals with his abuse. They even go out of their way to say that this is the wrong way to portray a victim. It makes me wonder how much Limus looked into this before making their video, especially since they brought up how they're a victim of similar abuse to explain why they hate Angel Dust. Granted, I'm not someone who's ever been a victim of that, but I did go out of my way to research that topic and brought it up in my original video. On top of that, since that video was posted, I've gotten a few comments from people telling me they're victims who relate to Angel Dust and explaining why they like him. Starting with Ryder the Gay Raptor, who said, quote, "It's a real shame that people just can't understand. This is how some people cope with trauma like this. People like me who have gone through terrible shit, the same as Angel, deserve to be represented in media." Another comment I got from Dust Shadow 235 went into more detail by saying this, quote, "Not gonna lie, I agree with your take on this. The show isn't glamorizing this unhealthy behavior. I'd actually say it's putting the behavior more into depth because the jokes Limus talks about are angel dust masking. When he has his breakdown in the show, that's the mask falling away. See, when people have unhealthy coping mechanisms like that, they tend to mask it, either from something that was instilled into them by someone or from unresolved trauma. Literally every one person I know, including myself, who's developed unhealthy coping like this,
I mean,
has
okay, listen, I don't. Yes, Limus was wrong about, the idea of this being a glorification of, a victim. But yeah, there's a double-edged sword to this. Yeah, I agree. But it's like it's this almost seems like over analyzing of what he said. What he said, not gonna lie, I agree this on your take. This isn't glamorizing. Well, yeah, it's not glamorizing. Uh, more into depth because the jokes Linus talks about are angel dust masking. Um, literally everyone person I know, including myself, who develops an unhealthy coping like this has formed some mask to downplay it and make it seem like it's not a big deal as it is. Hesman Hotel is showing the fact that people may seem fine, but in reality, there was one harsh talk away from a mental breakdown. It's raising awareness to those kind of things as it should be, and it shows that while someone may seem fine, people they're not down there not need to help in some way. Okay, maybe I was mishearing what was going on here. Limus did at least make an effort to say if you relate to angel dust, that's totally fine. That a lot of people just kind of ignore. Yeah, that's kind of my thing. Like I don't think that Limus was like hurting the idea of what it means to be a victim. I think it was a bad opinion, but like you're right. If he or she did say that. So it's kind of like she made a bad take, but then she also said, you know, what she said, that this is not, if you relate to him, that's fine. She thinks it's uh the wrong way to do it, which is an opinion. It's a bad one, I think, but it's not, I don't know, as deep as this person's going into it, like saying that it's harmful.
form some mask to downplay it and make it seem like it's not as big of a deal as it is. Hasbin Hotel is showing the fact that people may seem fine, but in reality, they're one harsh talk away from having a mental breakdown. It's raising awareness to these kinds of things, as it should be. It should
Like I've seen people on Twitter arguing about how people should cope with trauma when they bring fictional stuff and reflecting it on the media they consume. How people should cope about traumas when they bring fictional stuff. Oh, you're talking about like using the trauma, like these behaviors, like say all the behaviors you see in Hell of a Boss, or not Hell of a Boss, Has Been Hotel, that they see these behaviors and these coping mechanisms and call them like healthy coping mechanisms when they're clearly not, right? There's clearly a issue with like Has Been Hotel may do a bad job of it, but they're trying to show that that these coping mechanisms are not good. It's not fixing it, trying to change it, or at least that's what I think they were going for.
shows people that while someone may seem fine, deep down, they're not and need help in some way. I also love that Dust Shadow saw the same
Yeah, it
breakdown I
goes both
pointed out
ways.
that Limus must have missed, considering what they said about the show being too scared to go into that. Just to reiterate, they showed the scene of Angel breaking down before saying the show was too scared to do that. Before moving on, thank you to the both of you for sharing those comments. I appreciate both of you sharing your experience and telling me it was okay to bring them up in this video. My last point is the most important. Regarding Limus's video, the thing that concerns me most is their attitude in general. It comes off as Limus deciding what should and shouldn't be presented as a victim, and I will never defend that. Instead of realizing victims of sexual abuse can become hypersexual and drug addicts, Limus just sums it up as only being a negative stereotype. Instead of looking deeper into Poison and how Angel admits he's putting on a mask,
Yeah, I mean, I think
Limus
that's what it goes down to. It's they had a bad take on it being a negative stereotype. That's what this is. It's not them, I guess downplaying victims or trying to make it say that this is the only way that you can be a victim. She's clearly just doesn't under doesn't understand the point that she's trying to get to, or doesn't really understand what the show is trying to push through, right?
Limus assumes the song glamorizes abuse because they only noticed Angel dancing during it. And instead of praising Loser Baby for saying that finding someone to talk to can help you, Limus assumes it's just telling you to suck it up and says that doesn't work because of how different Angel and Husk are. I've never been to group therapy before, but I can't imagine anyone would be okay if someone pulled a Limus and told other people that you can only relate to people who they think have gone through the same thing as you. I'm pretty sure even Charlie would be mad if Limus tried pulling that crap on her. On top of that, Angel and Husk would both tell them to get
He's
off their
getting
damn
mad
high
about
horse.
this, and I think he's getting a
Again,
little over
having other
mad.
people to talk to helped me, and if I thought like Limus, I would have never opened up to other people. Abuse isn't a pissing contest. It doesn't matter at the end of the day if you or someone else had it worse. What matters is finding ways to get better from it, and sometimes that involves having other people to talk to that let you know that they're there for you. Limus is right that abuse never leaves you, but you can also decide if you'll let abuse continue to control your life. I understand Limus is a victim, and their reaction will be different from other people. However, that doesn't give you a license to decide how anyone should portray abuse victims because of it. And no, I don't care that Limus ended their video by saying this.
I want to end it off by saying that if you enjoyed Hazbin Hotel and Angel Dust as a character, that's fine. I don't want you to walk away from this thinking that your opinion is less than mine.
That point becomes mute, considering you named the video How Not to Write a Victim of Abuse, and summed up Angel Dust as a negative stereotype.
Okay, this is a little like, yeah, I got it. They had really shitty takes. I don't think the name of the video and their take of it being a negative stereotype is counteracting that statement that you can have your own opinion about it. This is clearly her opinion about it, as wrong as she is.
Type. Notice how I didn't name this video How Not to Be a YouTuber. That's because I wouldn't say Limus shouldn't be one, but don't be surprised when someone does a video questioning your reasoning when they notice problems with one of your videos. Anyway, that's all I had to say about this, and I'm more curious about what all of you have to say, so let me know your thoughts in the comments.
All right, so that was something. I don't think he really needed to make that video. Oh, what? Edgar live? Let's not screen snipe him right now. Egad. I don't know why I always say Edgar. If you get a chance, take a look at Egad's channel. He's an opposing opinion to some of the people I have in chat and to me sometimes. Pretty smart dude, I think, in general, even if he is friends with JDA. Let's take a look at the next video, which actually, weirdly, is named like How Not to Be a YouTuber. Actually, so if they're given to me in order, then let's listen to this apology. Maybe out of order, like I said, I should have went through it, but I am nothing if not lazy. Boom, boom, boom. Windows properties. There we go. Boop. There's not much on it, so it's just going to be this little tiny square.
This video is meant to serve as a response to a lot of the accusations and claims that have been made against me. For those who are unaware, over the past few months, 3 people have helped spread false information and claims about me. Claims that I bullied sexual assault victims off the internet because of how they cope with their abuse, claims that I harassed voice actors for Hazbin Hotel, and claims that I helped spread false accusations against Brandon Rogers. These people being Marco Strange, Gax, and Cy Scribbles. There are others who are involved in this as well, and I will mention them if I need to, but these 3 are the main ones who have helped platform a lot of these lies. This video is the result of months of constant harassment, death threats, rape threats, and doxing.
God, please, like, this is just fucking trying to pull sympathy from the opposite side of the situation, right? Let me see these accusations though. Why didn't I get these? Let's see what this video is.
This has been long overdue. When I made my last Limus video, I thought that would
Okay,
be...
hold on. After Limus was being exposed by the Google document, I decided it was time to finally respond to their responses towards me. Say Scribble and Gax. Limus has made many lies about me in it, and I plan on addressing them. Okay, so the apology, we'll watch the apology because I don't have the in-between.
That were sent my way because of these claims. I said before that I wasn't going to make a video about the backlash that my original Angel Dust video got again, but that was before it got to this extent. I want to do my best to, at the very least, clear the air and tell my side of events, and why the people making these claims are not to be trusted. The first person I want to talk about who started to make claims against me is Marco Strange. Marco is a cartoon/anime YouTube critic, and he first started to take an issue with me when he made a video responding to my video, How Not to Write a Victim of Abuse. Since then, he made a couple more videos about me, including numerous shorts. I shrugged off his video at first, mostly because I have had more than enough of my fair share of people talking about that video. I don't really care anymore if people didn't like my Angel Dust video, but it felt really disingenuous to hear him say, unlike Limus, I care about sexual abuse victims, and I'm going to get into why. I have a history with Marco Strange. Even before he made his video about me, while he was working on it, he was a member in my Discord server, and during his time there, me and the mods had to ban him because he was posting explicit images of Nami from One Piece. Me and my mods do our best to make the server a safe space for people. Marco Strange is over the age of 30, and he was posting lewd images of Nami in a server that had a large portion of people below the age of 15 in it. It's a character that he seems to have a lot of love for, considering...
Is he saying this guy did the same thing he did, only he's older, so it's worse? And is he saying Marco Strange did that? Hold on. I gotta pull this sucker up and go back a little bit. Oh, there's actually stuff on here. Okay. Marco Strange. This is the guy we're talking about. Let's go full screen on this one. And of course, that's not, it's because it's this. All right, let's go on over here. Boop. Come on.
And I will mention them if I need to, but these three are the main ones who have helped platform a lot of these lies.
I'm interested now.
This video is the result of months of constant harassment, death threats, rape threats, and doxing attempts that were sent my way because of these claims. I said before that I wasn't going to make a video about the backlash that my original Angel Dust video got again, but that was before it got to this extent. I want to do my best to, at the very least, clear the air and tell my side of events, and why the people making these claims are not to be trusted. The first person I want to talk about who started to make claims against me is Marco Strange. Marco is a cartoon/anime YouTube critic, and he first started to take an issue with me when he made a video responding to my video, How Not to Write a Victim of Abuse. Since then, he made a couple more videos about me, including numerous shorts. I shrugged off his video at first, mostly because I have had more than enough of my fair share of people talking about that video. I don't really care anymore if people didn't like my Angel Dust video, but it felt really disingenuous to hear him say, unlike Limus, I care about sexual abuse victims, and I'm going to get into why. I have a history with Marco Strange, even before he made his video.
Okay. Let's go back just a little bit. I want to see that message.
Felt really disingenuous to hear him say, unlike...
All right. It's really sad they claim to care about victims, but want to decide what qualifies as a good representation and shame anyone who relates to Angel Dust. Just a reminder, I did a whole video about why Angel from Hazbin Hotel is a great character and a good representation. Yeah, this is fucking... Limus really did have all the moral high ground and chucked it all away. Yeah, I mean, this Marco Strange guy, this is fucking dumb. This is a retarded take. He... obviously, like, it doesn't go this far. He's not shaming the victims. He's giving his... or she, excuse me, she... one day I'll get it right. She's not blaming her victims. She's or shaming people. She's giving her opinion on how she thinks it's bad representation. Again, I'll say it one more time. It's a retarded take. She didn't look very deeply into what the show was going. Even a dumb guy like me could see what they were going for in that situation. But this is acting like it's some kind of malice to go there. This is fucking insane.
Limus, I care about sexual abuse victims, and I'm going to get into why. I have a history with Marco Strange. Even before he made his video about me, while he was working on it, he was a member in my Discord server, and during his time there, me and the mods had to ban him because he was posting explicit images of Nami from One Piece. Me and my mods do our best to make the server a safe.
Okay, yeah, that picture was, I guess you could call that definitely lewd. Boom. Hold on. Let me get some stuff going on here, and then we're gonna read these comments. I guess I could pause the game for a minute. Can we ban him? I'm gonna be honest. I think he's making multiple people in the server uncomfy. One of them being me. Laugh my ass off. Yeah. At Limus, definitely let the 30-year-old know. Oh, I think I remember some of this. No, for real, he has posted a lot of sussy stuff on this server, and this server has minors. I mean, this is kind of hypocritical, but let's see how much more they show. Can I please drop the ban hammer on this dude? He's making me uncomfortable. And then the picture.
But it felt really disingenuous to hear him say, unlike Limus, I care about sexual abuse victims, and I'm going to get into why. I have a history with Marco Strange. Even before he made his video about me, while he was working on it, he was a member in my Discord server.
It's funny to hear that he was in the server, because it's just like, oh, really? So you have bias?
And during his time there, me and the mods had to ban him because he was posting explicit images of
yeah, I would
Nami from One Piece. Me and my mods do our best to make this.
It's funny to hear them say this and then go, having gone through that document where Limus did the exact same thing. It's like two degenerate people slap fisting each other and calling each other bad.
Server a safe space for people. Marco Strange is over the age of 30 and he was posting lewd images of Nami in a server that had a large portion of people below the age of 15 in it. It's a character that he seems to have a lot of love for, considering he reposts AI art of her on his Twitter. When we banned him for it, he then proceeded to release 2 videos about me and talked shit about me wherever it was convenient. Twitter, YouTube comments, shorts, you name it. I want to point out that I did leave a comment under a second video about me.
Dog, it's been a month and you're still talking about me. I talk about whatever I want, and I would have been last week, but I took a break for Thanksgiving. Don't be mad, I criticized your video. Yeah, I'm starting to read the
basically
just
poking fun at the fact that he was still
for-
talking about me after a month has passed since my Angel Dust video was released. Me doing this was not the right move, and all it accomplished was giving him more fuel and reason to talk about me. But when he made a tweet saying that I was a bully and had
Let's see here. After some talking, I am realizing Limus is a bully. I've decided I was best to block them on my channel. This person has no interest in debating and outright lied about me. Is this the previous one? You gave. I hope he shows or she shows this. I'm willing to debate anyone, but I don't tolerate lying to make yourself look like a victim.
no interest in debating him. I quote tweeted,
Let's see here. I had to ban this guy from my server because he was posting lewd images of Nami in One Piece. He's 32 and knew that the server had a large amount of people below age of 15. This would have been interesting to read first, knowing like what comes later. I'm obviously not going to be nice to someone who does that and makes people close to me uncomfortable.
him with the screenshot showing what he posted in my Discord server. This then resulted.
Oh, poor you for sharing anime girls in your server. Jesus Christ. Glad to know I bugged you so bad to come back on here after crying about Trump winning the election and running to Blue Sky. Well, that's a very anti-woke statement right there. Like someone else said, get a life. Shut the fuck up, weirdo. P.S. You still lied about me at Limus, typical guy who wants to try and bully people that call you out. Also, I don't see any nudity in those, so tell me, Tell me how they're lewd. I mean, really? Oh, that's right. You can't explain anything, so you're just going to be wasting my time. Bye and good riddance, crybaby.
And now deleted tweets of him dropping his respect for my pronouns and starts purposely misgendering me and crashing out.
This is two people looking in a mirror.
It was very clear to me that he resulted in misgendering me because he had nothing substantial to come back with after showing how much of a creep he was. He started saying that the images he sent on my server were fine because there wasn't any nudity, and that all he did was share anime girls in my server. He has also gone on record saying that the channel he sent the images to was called Waifu Chat, when in actuality it was called Fictional Character Simpery. The channel consists of people sharing safe-for-work images and GIFs of characters that they are attracted to or that they like. We have made it clear numerous times and in our server rules that explicit images would result in an instant ban. Him trying to diminish what he...
Yeah, but we've kind of seen that it really sped on sped violence. Yes, Kimoji. We've seen, that it's only certain kinds of lewd content or not safe for work.
He did made it very clear to me that he's a liar who is willing to twist the truth as much as possible to make himself look better. I do think him saying that he cares about sexual abuse victims is tone deaf given his track record, especially given how he went out of his way to heart transphobic
Oh god, here we go. Heart transphobic contents. What does it say? I had no idea this dude is a supposed woman. Meanwhile, on their Instagram, they're drawing pictures of General Grievous from Star Wars in thigh highs and maid outfits. I'm sorry, but I think Thymus has issues. If offended by my comment, I'm sorry, but any man that has a voice deeper than by 4 decibels than mine, I have to call out. I'm a Has-Been Hotel fan, but I'm a conservative guy. Man, just how... Yeah, this guy's kind of retarded. How I was born and realized that I like the late great comedies, Ralphie May. I don't change for nobody. Yeah, that was kind of a gay comment, but who cares? I do not care if you like. I do not care if you like a transphobic tweet.
How a lot of trans and queer people in general supported his video without even knowing this is disheartening. I want to mention my interactions with Marco. After he blocked my main account, I left a snarky comment under one of his shorts with my second account. This was really stupid on my part, and I take full accountability for that. A lot of my behavior during this time period was wrong, and it deserves to be criticized. There's no doubt that I did play a part in the escalation of my situation with him. Pointless bickering did happen with me and him, and my participation in it did not help either side and only made things worse, and I apologize for that. I have also made 2 pre-stream chat videos on my VOD channel in which me and a friend or 2 would talk about Marco and laugh at his crash out. These videos have since been privated, mostly because I don't like stooping to the level of these people, and keeping them up felt very unprofessional on my part. Now, Marco has made a lot of comments and criticisms regarding my
conservative gay has-been fan. This is the debate. Oh, man. He does know a lot about her Instagram. Oh.
Angel Dust video, criticisms that I have already addressed in the follow-up video on my second channel, but some of the things that he and others have said is that I didn't like Angel Dust because I didn't like the way he coped with his abuse. This is true, but a lot of the people, including him, summarized my problem with that being that I don't like how Angel Dust copes with his abuse by being hypersexual. Angel Dust went out of his way to put himself in danger of getting abused again so that he can be ruined enough to the point where Valentino loses interest in him. I literally said that in my video, and I said that people have unhealthy ways of coping with abuse that leads into more harm. I have never once said that Angel Dust being hypersexual is a bad thing, nor that it's poor representation of an abuse victim. I understand that people disagree with me on that. Lots of victims have their own stories and their ways of coping, and I understand that. The video was a critique from the perspective of someone who went through a similar experience. People are allowed to criticize my video and disagree with it. But I take issue when people start a narrative that I had ill intent making the video and that I have ulterior motives, and it's reckless for Marco to push that narrative. Marco's third video about me was in relation to
I can agree with Limus on this. We're gonna, this was definitely like a narrative that he just hates other abuse victims and is trying to, I don't know, bring some kind of harm to them. Really, really gay behavior.
Things, and I want to use it as a reason to discuss some claims about me. In January, I went to an anime convention wearing a mask and a cardboard cutout of the thumbnail to my Angel Dust video. While I was at the convention, I was recognized by a bunch of people who all had nice things to say about me. Alex Brightman was at the convention doing autographs, so me and Valor Vex, who was with me at the time, stood in line to get his signature. I was mostly in line for Vex's sake since he was a big fan of Alex. I asked him if he could sign my thumbnail, and I explained to him that it was a video I made criticizing Hazbin Hotel. Alex found the idea of the sign funny and had no issue signing it, and adding, "Keep throwing sea rats," which is a reference to my streams. Me and Vex and a lot of my other friends found it funny, and I only really showed up at the convention wearing the sign as an inside joke with me and my followers, hence why I made the tweet showing off the autograph. Of course, that tweet got controversy and even got a response from VivzyPop saying how much she disliked it. The only people who saw what happened are me, Vex, and Alex Brightman. Viv was not at that convention. This led to an immense amount of hate and harassment sent my way. A lot of people were upset over me doing this.
Hold on. The worst one you're going to show is that you're retarded? Like, get out of here. That's bullshit. Like, no one cares if you get fucking mean tweets. Classic VivzyPop. I'm starting to learn a little bit more. I need to see a video talking about VivzyPop and her crash outs. And even then, when I was first reading the document about it, it seems like the weakest thing. Like, yeah, if it's done in the context of trying to make a like if it's in the middle of drama, and again, I don't know what the drama over the top was for it. To be fair, they probably can't show the worst messages on YouTube. Well, that's fair, but you can show something worse. What did you miss so far? We're starting to side with Limus here a little bit. We know what they are, but this other dude, Marco whatever Polo his name is like the same thing, but trying to criticize her for her takes, trying to say that her video, we finished the doc and saw Marco respond videos. You're right. And I'm willing to see, I want to see what he says about the document, right? And obviously he's Marco's framing this as, I think he's going to frame this video as an apology. So we'll see.
And if you thought that it was irresponsible, then I want to apologize. My intention was to make a few of my friends and followers laugh. I wasn't expecting it to reach the amount of attention that it got. My intentions were not malicious in the slightest, but I understand if that's not an excuse. However, I did not harass or even threaten Alex Brightman into signing my thumbnail. People at these meet and greets have the ability to refuse to sign anything that is given to them. Him saying no to signing the thumbnail would not have caused a scene like people act like it would. Him signing my thumbnail was not me trying to get a voice actor from the show to endorse my video. Alex Brightman, to my knowledge, has not seen my video, and I doubt he even remembers me after that convention. The signature was meant to be...
VivzyPop is the type to brush it off when she gets docs, then crash out for days because someone made fun of her show. It's very funny. Oh man, Muffin, if you got a video that I can watch about her, I like watching content like that. That's we like people like that, right? On all sides. Oh, Limus was helped by Pink King in this apology video. The only people who talked about the doc were Blackish and Pink King. Limus never apologized for putting kids in danger in the environment. Yeah, and I absolutely hold her to the fire for that, because it's completely unhinged stuff, and it seems like, for the most part, she pretty much got away with it. And she still doesn't understand the ramifications of what she's doing, or at least if she does, she's downplaying it. However, this Marco guy isn't doing a great thing. Like, this is drama I probably should have watched first before I got to the Google Doc, so I could be, because I'm biased against Limus here, but this Marco guy sounds just as bad and degenerate, and even that he's showing like he's being malicious to trying to do this, and it looks like just because he got kicked out of the Discord.
Be a joke between me, Vex, and my followers. I don't need a voice actor to validate my video. It's not a requirement for my points in that video. So to have people who weren't even at the convention make up lies about what happened at the convention and
Yeah, it seems like both of these dudes are train wrecks. Uh, might see what else we can find out.
then pass them off as fact, it's incredibly disingenuous. I had fun at the convention. I didn't try to ruin anyone else's fun as well. And I'm disappointed that a fandom that is so fixated on disproving false allegations made towards VivziePop also have no issue spreading false accusations to people.
Yeah, I could agree with that, HS, or I'll just call you H. Limus wasn't a... If Limus wasn't a creep, she'd be right. But worse than Marco, just projecting onto other people. Yeah, I mean, it very much is her, it's the kettle, right? She's calling them degenerate when she's clearly been doing the same stuff. But I can give her credit to some of the points that she's taken where she's, I can give her the points where Marco is just being disingenuous and feeding into it, even though she's an absolute degenerate and probably a groomer. I kind of understand taking overwhelming negative criticism of your work to heart and letting it get to you, but Vizzy's stuff is genuinely bad and a lot of criticism is valid. Yeah, well, anytime you do anything on whether you're making a video, whether you write a book, whether you make a TV show, anything, yeah, you're going to get criticism. And the fact that hers blew up to the way it does means you're going to get a lot more criticism. You gotta put on your big boy pants and sift through, if you really want to, the criticism that is legitimate to help you improve your show, or versus the criticism that's just people being people.
They dislike. Another claim that was brought up in Marco's video was my support towards Jaden, a person who came forward with allegations relating to Brandon Rogers. In the allegations, Jaden says that Brandon Rogers knew that they were 15 and talked them into doing free editing commission work instead of paying them. In my tweet supporting the victim, I said that grooming comes in many forms and it isn't always sexual. In this case, I believe that it was financial grooming. But because most people only know one definition of grooming, people including Marco have ran with the claim that I called Brandon Rogers a pedophile. The person who made the allegations got a lot of harassment and it led to them privating their account. I don't believe that Brandon Rogers is a pedophile, and I never made that claim. I do believe that he took advantage of a young fan's admiration to try and get free commission work instead of paying them. I will admit, because the word grooming is constantly associated with pedophilia, I can understand why people would be thinking that I was calling him that to a degree. I'm more so incredibly disappointed and sad that people harassed the victim enough for them to leave the internet, and I'm worried that I helped contribute to that. And if I did, I want to apologize to Jaden. Your story is yours to tell, nobody else's. I'm sorry that you aren't able to feel like people can listen to what you have gone through. You deserve safety and not to be taken advantage of.
Okay, this is
My
just kind
takeaway of
slimy.
what happened to you may not be your takeaway, and I don't want to be speaking on your behalf. And I'm sorry if that's what I did. To wrap this section up, I want to address Marco Strange personally. Marco, I think you are a liar and a grifter. I believe you care more about getting attention on your videos rather than helping out sexual abuse victims,
old grifter
given how
claims,
much
we
you
love
repost your
those.
video on Twitter anytime someone mentions my name. You are so fixated
VivziePop is the theater kid that other theater kids don't like when she crashes out. Oh, man.
on winning over a fan base that is filled with people who you wouldn't pour water on even if they were on fire. You'll call my apology that wasn't even directed towards people like you fake, but you still put out an affront of being an ally who genuinely cares for abuse victims. I banned you from my server because of your creepy behavior. It doesn't surprise me that outside of my server you are also like this. Do better.
Okay.
Cy Scribbles is the second person who has
I need to
arguably
watch
done the
this?
most to help
I
spread
guess
false
we will.
information about me. She's a 42-year-old React streamer. Most of her content
Wait, well, who cares about the age? Let's just go. That doesn't matter for the opinion.
this is just centered around Lily Orchard. Her initial stream that she made where she reacted to my Angel Dust video was all over the place. She repeats a lot of the same tired arguments as before. If I'm being honest, there isn't anything I can say about her criticisms that I haven't already said about Marco's. But she tries to push a narrative that I'm a misogynist, and that's why I didn't like the show. I gave her stream the benefit of the doubt, hoping that she would be the first normal person to make a response on me. Instead, the stream was filled with a barrage of bad faith criticisms and petty bullying on her part. I tuned in to watch but left due to her chat starting to get transphobic. After her words, I learned later on in her stream that she got upset over my usage of the word queer, and yet in the same stream, she had no issue saying the Spanish word for black. The landscape for queer people, both on the internet and outside of it, is already...
No, they use the Q word, don't like that. So, like, you're complaining about angel dust being a gay stereotype, and then you use a gay slur. The Negro College Fund?
In fact, Cy Scribbles has a history of using and calling other people slurs.
I bet you anything was clipped. Like, that just doesn't seem... I think you're being a little dishonest there. Now, this is, you know, I guess stuff. But to be honest, we all know I don't really give a shit about people saying the N-word. We could call Barack Obama the first blank president. It's a word that encompasses the entire community. Yeah, I mean, this is unhinged stuff, but I generally don't care that people like this say things.
Shot gets passed around a lot as an example. If you try and show this to her, she'll justify it by saying that it's okay because she censored one letter.
Well, no. If you're
that
going to censor one
was
letter
that she was arguing with someone
and think that's saving you, that's bullshit. You know, if you're gonna spell most of it out, just spell all of it out, right?
One who said that the word queer was worse than the N-word. But I think it's really obvious that censoring a word when saying it doesn't mean you aren't saying it. If you were to read aloud what they said, how would you say the slur in their message? You can't say N-word, because that's not what they wrote. And this argument doesn't even matter, considering she also uses Asian slurs and doesn't bother to censor them. Point is, there is zero context that justifies racism like this. So when that argument fails, then she tries to argue that writing down the N-word isn't the same as saying it. Sai has also said...
All right, this person is absolutely stupid. Like, now you're just trying to defend your use of the word. Because, yeah, it would come off as being racist because you're directly calling people the N-word. It's... Why is all these people pathetic?
This, which is an abbreviation of the term white N-word. Lots of people got upset over that, and when pressed about it, all she will say is that nobody born before 2004 thinks that it's offensive. You'll also notice that in a lot of her posts and her streams, she really loves using the R slur. In fact, she believes it's not a slur at all, and then it's on the same level of words like stupid or moron. It's a word that she has called me and many others.
Yeah, well, what a bunch of losers, am I right? Like, this, it's a bunch of, like, moral moral high ground people will say, trying to pretend that they have the moral high ground when all of them are shown to be degenerates in the end.
Which is wild considering
It's funny because her editor uses the R slur and the F slur, and she didn't care. Blackish also used it, and she didn't care. Massive hypocrite. What a surprise. So they're just using it in this case because they know that the obviously more lefty audiences that watch these people will get upset about it.
Autistic. Along with all of this, she is also transphobic towards non-binary people and neopronouns. It doesn't shock me too much considering what her community is like,
what did she
but
say
seeing how
here?
she talks...
And how is someone going by non-binary pronouns immediately make them an attention-seeking whore? Because nobody is going to call another human an it in day-to-day life. Get over it. We already talked about this, Grandma. Let me explain. Yes, there are people who actually go by it in real life, and there are people who use it. Saying, oh, well, this will never happen broadly is not a good excuse. You're still being transphobic and diverting attention again. Let me explain. People don't always have to care about you, or you're not the center of everyone in the else's universe. Isn't this fun? Again, what is it a transition into? I don't care. This is weak. This is just more trying to jump on this person is transphobic. You could stick harder with the N-word.
Talks about people who use neopronouns is really disgusting. Her understanding of queer culture never left the
That's not what they
2000s,
said,
and it's
right?
so obvious that she isn't willing to learn and instead will just make fun of people with neopronouns and use AI images to mock them. Sai has a whole laundry list of stuff that she has done and said, so her making a stream where she just plays my entire video on stream,
Yeah, I haven't
reacts to
heard,
it, while calling me a
either.
creep and a misogynist, it's really ironic. The thing that tipped me off a lot, though, was her support of alleged groomers like Black Griffin. She has made a tweet after tweet defending him. I'm going to leave a link in the description to a Google Doc containing the allegation.
Well, I can't look at that because you deleted this video. But let's go back. Can I go back like 10 seconds? There we go. Yeah, retard. Because there isn't anything substantial on Griffin. And I don't know anything about the Black Griffin stuff. I've only heard bits and pieces. And at the point it posted the evidence, okay.
A lot, though, was her support of alleged groomers like Black Griffin. She has made a tweet after tweet defending him. I'm going to leave a link in the description to a Google Doc containing the allegations against Black Griffin for you to see for yourself, as I don't believe that I can do a good job explaining it here. My point is, it's pretty tone deaf for her to say that I don't care about SA victims and that I only care about myself, while at the same time putting down victims who are trying to have their voice be heard. Now, me and Sai have gotten into a couple of arguments since the release of her stream, and after seeing how the online drama was affecting people close to me, I decided to delete my Twitter and not look back. When I did so, though, Sai searched for my Blue Sky and continued to harass me over there.
God, yeah. We all know that, yes, I don't think you should be doing this, but initially, like, the thing is, there's a determined difference between what you see from like the anti-wokers that are coming on there and just another person coming over and saying stuff. Why are predators attracted to your server, Limus? Why do you have so many minors on it? Sure, I mean, I guess they're trying to take jabs at you while you're down, but you don't seem to talk about that on here at all.
Trying to insinuate that I was a creep for having a lot of minors in my Discord server.
You were.
I have a lot of minors in my
100%
Discord
you
server
were.
because I want my server to be a safe space for them. I've spent most of my life not being able to have a safe space where I can be myself and not feel any sort of judgment. And what I created with my server is a place for those who are having those same issues in their real lives to be a part of a community where they can be themselves and feel welcomed and safe.
Only that's not true because you do degenerate shit in that, or you did do degenerate shit in that server. So this is bullshit.
Hence why I was so upset over what Marco Strange did on that exact same server. She has also tried to raid one of my streams with her.
But we all have seen, yeah, yet they failed miserably. To the point they were even denying doing things that would help protect the children.
Hundreds of viewers, knowing full well that they would harass me doing it.
Limus is live? Oh my god, you guys want me to raid Limus just to be an asshole? That would be pretty funny.
Don't do that, but that's
not finding them, though.
When I learn of this and call her out, she deflects accountability by saying that I'm a baby who can't take criticism. And that's pretty much where it's been for the past month.
That's not really avoiding criticism, right? That's just flat out saying that you're a crybaby and they don't think it matters. They're not deflecting away. They're just saying that they don't think they did anything wrong.
Recently, which I will talk about in my next section, but a couple days ago, Sai did another stream reacting to my mouthwashing video that I made in January. During the stream in which she did the exact same thing as last time, watched my video in full and gave criticism while also make fun of me, she also went out of her way to look up my playthrough of mouthwashing my VOD channel and proceed to mock me and my streaming ability. But the thing that got to me was that she also went out of her way to bully my friends who were joining.
There's points where like I agree with this guy on here and then I'm like, oh, your feelings got hurt that she talked bad about your video. Who cares? Who cares?
Joining me on the stream for the game. And of course, her chat was joining in on it as well.
One chatter. Good job.
Yeah, that's usually what happens.
Limus, you got one chatter. Because Limus is using a voice changer instead of just doing funny voices, because they're a bad streamer. Okay, you guys are fucking boring as shit. Oh god, they added somebody else! In the meantime, where did this person come from? I'm trying to point this out, I don't know if this is too spicy, but none of the 3 people here sound like they are anyone who has ever had to worry about a pregnancy.
If you want to criticize my video, that's one thing, but targeting my friends for the horrible crime of being friends with me is immature and
Are you fucking kidding me? What's the target? This is like just crybaby bullshit at this point. This person sounds like, you know, they're a fucking troll who does unhinged stuff to try and feel like, you know, to try and get attention online. You can say whatever you want to say about that, right? I don't know much about Scribbles, so I can't say much about Scribbles. But if you're telling me that like this stuff is harassment, you get the fuck out of here. Baby, yeah, actual baby fight. Agreed.
I've had to deal with people harassing my friends in the past for being associated with me, and I will never understand the end goal with doing so. This is the same person who thinks atheists are a minority group the same way black people are, so I can't really trust a lot of what she says. Scribbles, I don't know what you are trying to accomplish by doing this shit. Even before the stream about me, you didn't have a reputation of being a good person to begin with, and all of this just cemented that for me. Now please, leave.
I have no sympathy for all the people we are talking about. They're all losers. Limus, Marco, Scribbles deserve each other. Yeah, it just seems, it's retards slapping retards.
Leave me alone. Gax is someone I barely interacted with before he made his 2 videos about me, but in those videos, he made claims against me that were hand-fed to him by both Marco Strange and Scribbles, as well as allocations. And I want to jump into some of these because it's kind of shocking just how sloppy his videos are. Gax is a Turkey Tom Leafy a Cheeto style commentary channel. There really is no other way for me to describe him. He made 2 videos about me, talking about the things relating to me. The first one is pretty egregious. Most commentary channels are like that. He's pretty ableist throughout the video, calling me things like a tard with Asperger's or retarded liquefied AIDS.
A condescending 14-year-old tard with
Asperger's
syndromes. Retarded liquefied of AIDS.
Or at least I think that's what he calls me. His mic quality is atrocious. In the video, he reiterates a lot of the claims I already talked about, but still gets a lot of details wrong. He says that VivziePop and her crew were at the convention I went to, when in actuality it was just 2 or 3 voice actors from the show. Vivzie wasn't there. He mentions some new ones, which I'm going to talk about. He says that my reaction to Psy's community being transphobic is ridiculous because nobody would know what my preferred pronouns are by clicking on my account. But not before making a joke about how many made-up pronouns there are because these people only have one joke. He tries to show a screenshot to prove this, but he leaves out the fact that if you click on my YouTube account, my pronouns are literally the first thing you see next to my channel name. He's just being disingenuous. He then tries to defend Psy's racist messages by saying they are out of context, ironically showing very little context to my conversation history with Psy. I already mentioned what the context was. Psy was trying to correct someone on them thinking that the N-word is not as bad as the word queer, and she does it by just flat out saying it along with Asian slurs. I don't see how that's supposed to prove a point. And again, I've said before that no amount of context excuses the things that Psy has said. Even if you're pretending to be someone who is racist, lowering yourself to that standard by saying what they would say doesn't make you any better than the person you are trying to debate, especially when you don't even bother censoring the Asian slurs you said as well. Nothing stopped you from putting placeholders or abbreviations to represent the words you were trying to say. In Gax's second video about me, he randomly brings up a tweet about a cuck art of Silver, Whisper, and Tangle from Sonic the Hedgehog. I made a quote tweet of the art saying that it was thinly disguised homophobia. I was not aware at the time that the art was made as a reference to her Friday Night Funkin' drawing. The replies I got to that tweet were filled with transphobia, which is why I left this tweet. Most of the replies were from transphobic Sonic accounts.
See here, God, I hate hearing all this fucking transphobic this, transphobic that. Are there some? Sure, but you run into, you can say anything negative about a community and they will call you homophobic, transphobic, racist, you know, even yeah, Holy Nothing Burger Batman. It's just Who cares? Even now on the freaking anti-woke side, they'll call you racist or whatever else. Just, I don't know. It's dumb. No one cares.
And Sonic accounts centered around porn of the underage characters. I don't really understand why Gax put this in the video as some sort
Another moral high ground on something that you didn't give a shit about in your server full of minors.
or gotcha. It's not that big of a deal. Was my tweet dumb and unnecessary? Absolutely. Hence why I deleted it along with the rest of my Twitter. It just feels like this was only included to pad out the runtime. It has become so evident to me that Gax has very little substance on things that I have done, so he needs to include stuff like this. You could use that time to give actual mature criticisms and arguments about my actions online, but instead you need to reach with tweets that do not matter in the slightest.
What are those actions? What are those actions, Limus? Could you tell us?
How desperate you are to try and expose me. The next main claim he makes is really stupid.
Yeah, it's just shields and deflection all over the place. It's like they're doing the same thing, and then when they see the other person doing it, they call them out on it, and then the other person calls them out on that same. It's just it's like the most pathetic group of people I think I've seen so far.
He brings up my issues with the scene in Hazbin Hotel of Sir Pinchas being dragged away and implied to be raped for laughs. He then tries to say that I'm a hypocrite because I laughed at a similar joke while playing GTA San Andreas on my stream. And the clip he shows is me clearly uncomfortable with the scene and laughing because Nuggies, who was in the call and stream at the time, played the fucking Germa teacher noise sound effect.
Fuck you! Look at that! You just walk in and you just go like...
You are... Oh, baby, please, no! Please, baby, no!
Okay, that sound. This literally happens in the clip that he shows, and he still tries to act like I was laughing at the rape scene. When I saw this part in the video, it basically proved to me that he is not interested in being honest and instead wants to spin whatever narrative he wants. The last thing I want to mention of this video is that he also repeats a common false claim about me that I helped bully Hazbin fans who related to Angel Dust off the site. His evidence, if you can even call it that, is his source, which is just a Discord message from a censored account.
Yes. I'm sorry, I'm trying to find proof of more of this. So, according to one friend, Limus bullied someone. Is this really all it was? Because I don't remember seeing this. So, according to one friend, Limus bullied off the internet. Twitter was, who's also a victim. Basically, they'll tell them, hi, I relate to Angel. Limus will harass them, bully them off the thing. Dude, that's all these people do. Harass this, bully this, transphobe, homophobe, racist. You're all these things. Like, what are you talking about? This doesn't even say that. I want more proof.
Funny enough, this is the same type of evidence that Hazbin fans get mad about when it comes to claims against VivziePop, but if it's with me, then I guess that's okay. He does show a screenshot that is meant to be evidence of me bullying an artist by the name of Vanilla Brown Sugar off Twitter for their drawing of Val Angel art. This tweet wasn't even in reference to Nilla. There is no evidence that it was related to Nilla. I have never spoken to Nilla before or after what happened. They have me blocked on Blue Sky even before this happened, and their Twitter account is deleted, not privated. Nilla getting harassed off Twitter for their art is horrible, and I do not condone it in the slightest. I have never been okay with people harassing or attacking others for shit like this, and it disappoints me that so many people believe the screenshot that wasn't even related to Nilla, simply because they need any sort of ammunition against me. With that being said, the one screenshot that Gax does show in the video that I will take accountability for is when I told a person in my comment section that the way they were coping with their abuse was unhealthy. That was not my call to make, and it was wrong of me to judge them for their coping mechanism in the way that I did, and I apologize for that. Gax, I know these type of videos are easy to make, and I know you want to be this edgy commentary channel and be an asshole online. But you could at the very least verify the claims you receive and know who you are getting it from. That's just my suggestion. Take it or leave it. I've eaten a lot of shit on this topic for a while, and I'm way too exhausted to keep dealing with stuff like this. If you walk away from this video not believing a single thing I said, fine. Believe what you want to believe. But please, for the love of God, leave me and my friends alone. I'm not going to keep getting stepped on.
Okay, if you're going to fucking put stuff online, I'm sorry, you're going to have people like this say stuff. Like a commentary community does what they do. If some in any community, people are going to talk about what you say online. If you don't like that, I don't know what to tell you, bud. Welcome to the internet, where everyone has an opinion, no matter how stupid that opinion is.
I have a lot of projects that I should be working on right now, but instead I made
with like, I have projects. Y'all are keeping me from putting out content to my fans.
this. I want to move on from this because I'm too tired of lies and blatant harassment towards myself and my friends. Marco, Sai, and Gax are all hypocrites, liars, and overall undesirable people. They have gone out of their way to try and spin a yarn of false narratives and spread lies. Whether or not you want to believe me is your choice. But the people who are spreading this false information about me have shown themselves to be untrustworthy people. Love me or hate me, nobody is a saint here. I want to get back to making content that I want to make. I've had to carry a lot of this on my chest, and hopefully I can focus once again. I'll see you around. I got a lot to work on.
Man, this is always the people with cartoon avatars that are the most unhinged. What are you trying to say? No, but yeah, it's just this art community. I don't think I'm all that unhinged. It's one thing I'll notice about this is like it seems to be around, like tiptoeing around the whole idea of the grooming in his Discord, of the minors in his Discord. And he didn't want to talk about any of that at all. Didn't want to bring it up, didn't want to have a conversation, didn't want to say any of it is wrong outside of his one tweet. Now, all of these fucking dudes, yeah, I agree with you, Kimoji. They're always unhinged in the cartoon art community. I mean, the ACC is the perfect example. But all of these fucking dudes are dumb, and all of these freaking dudes are here for me to enjoy. So let's move on to the next one. We'll close that down. I can't believe this is. Oh. The fake apology. So where's the fake apology? Limus. Let's look up the fake apology. And why you shouldn't buy
I didn't want to ever do a video on this.
I spent the last several months constantly responding to any sort of negative comments relating to me, and oh, this is different. Deleted my Twitter account. Oh, this is different. This is kind of before.
However, the recent actions, including a supposed apology, convinced me I needed to say something. For those who don't know, Limus caused drama on Twitter again with the Has-Been Hotel / Hell of a Boss fandom. This time, they accused Brandon Rogers of being a groomer. They also said a few ageist things on there, such as banning anyone in their 30s from their Discord, and saying no one above 30 should be talking about cartoons. Limus causing drama isn't a new thing. However, two things made this different than every other time. One, they deleted their account on Twitter. Two, they made a quote-unquote apology on Blue Sky. It says, I owe everyone an apology. I spent the last several months constantly responding to any sort of negative comments relating to me, and it's led to further conflict. I deleted my Twitter account, and along with that, I'm going to be less active in general. I'm sorry that a lot of the energy that was brought to my posts during these months were filled with negativity. I have a lot of trauma relating to this, and I care too much about what other people think of me to be brutally honest. I'm going to work on breaking the cycle. While I like to be positive and want to believe it when people say they want to be better, Limus is the exception.
I like to be positive, but I've made like 4 videos in a row about this subject. Like, come on, man, just say what you are. Just say you're a comedy comedian. We don't need everything to be positive. Sometimes it's just funny to point and laugh.
I'm not holding back when I say they've been a horrible person this whole time. They have done things worth being called out for and doubled down on said things, pretending they had done nothing wrong. Let's look back at my video on them as a starting point. My original videos were just criticisms about their Angel Dust video and them as a YouTuber in general. I also want to add that at no time did I insult them. This line is the closest thing to an insult in either of those videos. Limus's video feels like they've never heard the term analysis before. Their hatred for things like Angel Dust as a character, or songs like Poison or Loser Baby, seems to be because they can't analyze any of that. Even then, that's not me saying they can't analyze things. It's me saying
But then you did go on later, right, and say that he was like actively harming victims. That was kind of your tweet. Like they're you made another video about that.
And that's the feeling I get from their video. Either way, the rest of my video was fair, saying how I thought they could improve. I didn't expect them to comment on said video, or what that response would be. They started by laughing at me for waiting a month to make said video. Again, these videos take time, and I was also juggling my job around this time, trying to make said video. What made me lose respect for Limus was during this exchange, they accused me of deleting their comment that actually critiqued my video, and explained why they disliked it. I can't believe I have to say this, but I don't delete comments. Even the ones that insulted me, like a few of the comments on my Crow video, I didn't delete them, and I wasn't even bothered by them. In the end, they still contributed to the discussion on what I thought of the new Crow movie, and I'll almost put up with anything if you contribute to it. However, I don't tolerate lying about me to make it look like I ignore criticism, which Limus does constantly, but more on that later. Moving on, I blocked Limus on YouTube, which I had never done before. Again, I won't tolerate someone lying about me just to make themselves.
None of these people want to tolerate people lying about them. Have you noticed that? It's always complete lies. But he clearly did, say that he was harming victims, right? That his video was downplaying other victims or that, things like that.
Look good. However, when I was making shorts of those videos, something I regularly do now to help get people to watch them, they use their second account to comment on one. Granted, it was just daring me to keep making videos, but still creepy that Limus was so bothered by me they needed to use another account to interact with me. Unfortunately, they only get creepier from here. Last January, Limus went to a convention.
Hold on. He's going to say something like he made another comment. What?
Limus was so bothered by me, they needed to use another account to interact with me. Unfortunately, they only get creepier from here. Last January, Limus went to a convention where they got Alex Brightman to sign a thumbnail for their Angel Dust video. Which is already creepy enough to have a huge ego. You want a VA to...
iDubbbz needs to get these Nothing Burger drama people to box on creator class. Oh man, that would be interesting.
Sign something related to you bashing the show they're in. Unfortunately, it got worse as they had the bright idea to walk around the con with that around their neck. You know, the same image of Angel Dust from episode 4 of Hospital Hotel, where he's being essayed.
And on this, I do start to believe Limus more on this situation. Like, it clearly the video is saying what it is. Like, go back. Let's see if we can go back here. I made this, how not to write a victim of abuse. So the voice actor saw this, right? They saw this picture and they were still willing to sign it. It's hard for me to believe that this was signed under duress for some reason.
It got worse as they had the bright idea to walk around the con with that around their neck. You know, the same image of Angel Dust from episode 4 of Hospital Hotel, where he's being essayed. The same episode that some fans have said can't even watch again because of how triggering it is to them.
Oh,
one person
God,
recently replied to my...
eat it. No one gives a shit about that. You're just trying to fucking get a sad story from all those other people to make fucking Limus look like a bad guy when there's tons of other allegations that you can make about their Discord server and everything else. I do not care about the people who don't, who are triggered by that scene. I can understand them being triggered, sure, but I do not care. That doesn't make Limus a bad person because you've decided this.
I tweet about this topic, telling me they had to brace themselves when they watched that episode. Again, Limus didn't see a problem with this, and even bragged about how proud they were of this. Making it worse, one person made a post pointing out that Limus walked around a public con where minors were walking around, and they could have seen the image too.
What?
Instead of looking back at
What? Hasman fans were saying Limus assaulted Alex Brightman by forcing them to sign the thumbnail. You will sign my thumbnail. Jeez. People show up to these conventions in the most skimpy outfits ever. Yeah, this is a convention, right? If this is stretching it, right? This guy is so fucking pathetic. Holy shit.
Realizing that was a mistake, Limus doubled down by slut-shaming cosplayers at the con and then laughing about it.
Slut shaming? Is that slut shaming? Like, dude, this guy has to be fucking absolutely retarded. Like, look at this comment. People show up to these conventions in the most skimpy outfits ever, and somehow I'm the problem. Is that slut shaming? And also, a thumbnail, how to not write a victim of abuse. Is that immediately telling everybody what's going on? I hate that I have to defend Limus in these situations because Marco is so fucking pathetic. He has to use this to come up with a thing that's saying that they're slut shaming. Get out of here. There's much better ways to slut shame.
Limus doubled down by slut-shaming cosplayers at the con and then laughing about it. I also asked the person who made that post about their reaction because I didn't want to speak for them. They agreed Limus is a hypocrite, and this is just a pattern of them doing this repeatedly,
the people that
even when
you
you're trying to be nice to them. Again, they were polite with their post, pointing out the obvious, but Limus decided to say, "I'm not the problem, everyone else is." It says a lot that Limus claims they care about victims and protecting minors, yet doesn't see the problem walking around with the sign of a character being essayed. Speaking of the latter, that leads to my next point.
Dude,
Limus is an ageist bigot. One of the things that caused the recent drama...
An ageist bigot now. Numerous people above the age of 30 have joined my server and were very creepy towards minors. I'm not letting fuckers like that into my community. Better safe than sorry. This is ageism and bigotry. It's hypocritical. It's absolutely hypocritical that she will throw down lewd images of men and Pokemon and dragons and anything else, make sexual statements. But ageist? Are we really that? Like, this is insane.
was that someone revealed that if you were over 30 and tried to join Limus' server, you would be kicked. Limus explained this reasoning, saying a few have been creepy to minors and that it was better to be safe than sorry. I honestly don't know why, but Limus has a thing against anyone older than 30. Not only did they ban anyone above the age from their server, they also made this post saying anyone above 30 shouldn't be talking about cartoons. You know, people like Mr. Enter or Shady...
I mean, it's a fucking dumb statement. It's a nothing burger. It's fucking so much of a nothing burger that no one gives a shit.
Do-rags? Why exactly should they stop talking about cartoons? Last time I checked, their videos are actually good, and they know the term analysis. On top of that, Limus would learn a lot if they watched either of them. I also find it hilarious that the person who laughed about being criticized for walking around with a picture of angel dust being essayed in a public place where there were minors is now claiming that they want to protect them. Is it any wonder so many people called them a hypocrite? Before I get to my last point, I want to say this.
God,
I was willing to let any hate between me and Limus go. A friend had convinced me that that was the right thing to do. However, this made me realize Limus is a disgusting person who deserves being called out. Recently, a person on X made a calling out thread about Brandon Rogers, the VA for Blitz from Hell of a Boss. I didn't get to read the thread myself, but from people I've seen talk about it, at worst, Rogers scammed someone. However, Limus, feeling the need to insert themselves into another situation...
it's literally trying to poke every little needle it can to get something to stick, right? And all it does is make you look like an absolute fucking moron and retard, because people will read, anyone who is smart enough to actually stop it. This probably goes really hard with art, audiences that can't read, but anyone who stops and reads these is fucking dumb.
because they wanted clout,
or who is going to see right through it. I called myself fucking dumb. That's how dumb I am.
jumped in to call Rogers a groomer. Again, multiple people had seen this thread, and even said there's nothing proving any of those allegations. I actually heard that it showed so little that it's why so many people had questions about it. If anyone's curious, I'll link a video someone did on the thread itself in the description. My point is, this is the perfect example of Limus. Limus has no proof of these accusations, and I'm pretty sure they're too lazy to explain how they came to this conclusion. Which also isn't shocking, since my biggest critique of their Angel Dust video was that they're incapable of analyzing things. In my honest opinion, Limus saw someone make a thread saying they were a minor and they had a problem with Brandon Rogers, and they just assumed it was a thread calling them out for grooming. Again, this is just a sign of how horrible Limus really is. Limus not only causes drama, but they also specifically find ways to make it worse. Walking around with a picture of Angel Dust was bad enough, but trying to deflect by slut-shaming cosplayers only shows they're incapable of realizing they've ever done anything wrong. Even when they're being called out for their behavior, instead of reflecting on it like you'd expect an adult to do, Limus acts like a spoiled brat.
How does this guy not get through the day without crying? Like, of all of the people around him who are just evil, because like these comments are so fucking light.
That thinks the world revolves around them.
And they're not even saying what they're saying. I mean, he's just flat out lying at this point.
Times to listen to criticism directed at them and even had the chance to talk about it. I would have happily welcomed Limus having a discussion with me on what they disagreed with me in my video about them. Instead, their response was usually to bully the other person. At this point, I think Limus is ageist because so many people have told them to grow up, myself included. With that said though, that leads us back to the apology they made, which I still call fake, and then finally...
Okay, I owe everyone an apology. I spent several months constantly responding to any sort of negative comments related to me, and it's led to a lot of further conflict. I deleted my Twitter account along with that, and I'm going to be less active in general. I'm sorry that a lot of the energy that was brought to my posts during these months were filled with negativity. This is typical freaking left, you could say, wokey, whatever you want to call it, like talking. I'm sorry that I was doing all of this stuff and arguing with people. I'm going to delete my Twitter and, I don't know, come back in a month. I have a lot of trauma relating to this shit, so setting up the victim card, and I care too much about what other people think about me to be brutally honest. I'm going to work on breaking the cycle. I mean, this is pretty typical wokey stuff.
Realizing they can't handle the drama after all.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I could complain about how they use trauma as an excuse, but I actually have a better reason why I don't buy this apology. And that is, what exactly is Limus apologizing for? Limus said they're sorry for the past few months, but what does that include? Does it include being a jerk to people like me just for critiquing their video? Or walking around a public con with an image of Angel Dust being essayed? How about for making Alex Brightman sign that?
How many times is he going to say these same things?
They slut-shame cosplayers to deflect when someone explains...
Hey, retard, you've already said it. You're fucking wrong. You're just making it up and trying to use this as some kind of evidence.
Why that was...
Move on.
Creepy.
Your video could have been shorter.
Does it include them being an ageist bigot and attacking anyone above the age of 30?
Ageist bigot is just baffling.
What about the accusations they made about Brandon Rogers with no evidence to back them up? Seriously, what exactly is Limus supposed to be sorry for here? Considering Limus acted like they did nothing wrong for months, I'm not really sure what they're supposed to be apologizing for. It comes off as a blanket statement, hey, I'm sorry, so please forgive me. Coming from a person with my own trauma and being fed fake apologies all my life,
it's pretty egregious. Like I said, there's already things to talk about. There's criticisms. It's not even criticisms. There's things you can call him out for because it's degenerate freaking grooming behavior. But no, we're gonna make shit up about him.
Feels as fake as it gets, which is why I don't buy it. Limus will do anything to try to look good. When asked why they won't just offer a critique, they'll lie and say they did, but the other person deleted it. When called out for being creepy, they deflect to shame others. When accused of being a bigot, they'll make hypocritical claims like wanting to protect minors. despite not caring about that when they were walking around a con with angel dust around their neck.
How many
This
times are
apology
you
is
going to
just
say
Limus
this,
trying to do
fucking
the same thing
dumbass?
again, only this time they think just saying sorry is good enough. Yes, it's true what Charlie said. It starts with sorry. However, that's how it starts. You still have to.
This is why I say, like, it can be like you have to be careful when it comes to apologies and stuff like that, and actually have something that needs to be apologized for, because no one will let you actually live it down. They'll want you to constantly apologize until the day you die. If you do something legitimately wrong, then yeah, by all means. But just because someone's mad at you for something, you don't. And we're talking about like defending a person who is alleged of grooming, who's talking sexually with minors in their chat, who is using a minor as a shield for their degenerate behavior. Like, what are you talking about? What are these things you're bringing up when they don't matter? Holy fuck, I'm glad I watched this.
Work to be a better person. Just saying sorry doesn't make it okay that you acted horribly, especially when most of the time Limus was overreacting to fair criticism towards them. And again, instead of realizing what they did wrong, they doubled down, pretending everyone else was the problem. Will Limus improve from this as a person? Honestly, I don't know. All I know is that if you don't learn from history, you're doomed to repeat it. Unfortunately for Limus, I'm unsure they can learn from their mistakes, so I won't be shocked if this apology turns out to be fake after all. Before ending this video, I want to say that if you're one of the ones Limus tried to bully for critiquing them, I'm sorry you went through that.
Oh,
This is not okay to treat.
Thank you for the me being so harassed and triggered by Limus and their critique of a fucking song in a TV show or a character in a TV show. Jesus Christ. Fucking cry me a river.
Anyone, and that's why I don't want anyone to buy their fake apology. Just know that if you were respectful with your criticisms, and Limus decided to bully you in response, they're the one with the problem, and should be ashamed of themselves for being unable.
It's like people, he's bullying me. Well, he's bullying me by saying he's bullying me.
To take criticism. I really hope this is the last time I have to talk about them, but I guess I'll have to wait and see. At this point, I'm expecting them to do something else dumb in a few months from now.
So you can make content. Like, I get it. I don't have a problem with that, wanting to make content because they said something dumb. All right, now we've got the new mini lad. We've got at least one more video to watch. I don't know if we'll watch the second one because I pretty much think I understand how this guy works now.
This has been long overdue. When I made my last Limus video, I thought that would be the end of it. I was fully aware
Dude, this guy just
that a response of some sort was likely, but I considered it dumb because I said everything I wanted to on the topic. However, Limus can't stay out of trouble, and I feel I have no choice but to make one last video on them. If you aren't aware, a Google Doc has been going around calling out Limus for being inappropriate around minors. While it's been around for months, Limus's biggest defenders like Pink King are openly denouncing them for their actions. Some even showed that when asked, Limus would dodge their questions and play the victim, something I've openly accused them of, and now more people are starting to see it.
Yeah, he
this
did
is
that.
me making my final call out because I don't just think Limus...
Here's the difference, though. Like, he was actually doing that with these allegations, where all the shit you said so far has been bullshit. You got lucky that these not lucky, it was going to come out, that these allegations dropped so you could say something about it. You were making up anything you could possibly do. Every nothing burger you could point out was was thrown at Limus. And I wonder what your Discord would have looked like in this situation. In fact, he was in the Discord, wasn't he? So he is making a video about the Discord that he was in, where he sent lewd pictures, or not safe for work pictures, I would say. If it's a picture you wouldn't open up in an office building because your boss might see it, It's not safe for work, right? So what's really the difference going to be here in what he did in that server and what you did in the server?
This is a horrible person. I think they're an actual threat to
Hopefully the answer to that is he didn't talk sexually to him.
people. Before getting into all that, I know people have been asking if I was going to respond to their response. I mostly ignored those comments. The reason was that initially, I thought it would have to be a direct response to Limus, which would have been a waste of time. I know they would never watch it, so I didn't see a point in making it. There is another reason too, but I'll tell you all that near the end. It's something I've been scared to say until now, but I think I'm finally ready to tell everyone. Let's start back with my Limus apology video. As I mentioned earlier, I created that video because I saw Limus attempt to give a fake apology. One of my main complaints was that it was vague, and Limus made no specific points about what they were sorry for. I also felt vindicated when shortly after that video, Limus made another post saying it was just an apology to their fans, not the actual people they had openly harassed for disagreeing with them.
In this apology, Limus is apologizing for the whole mishap that they made on Twitter, which is a good thing. Is what I would say if it wasn't for the fact that Limus quoted their apology and outright stated their apology is for their fans for putting up with them and not for the people that are being critical of their childish behavior.
Oh shit, here we go again.
Again, vindication. Shortly after that, Limus made a video responding to me, Cy Scribbles, and Gax. At the end of my section, Limus had the nerve to tell me this.
Do better.
You know what? Challenge accepted. I will be better. Specifically, better than you. I'm going to react to your response, address all the stuff you said about me, and call you out for all the wrong things you did. I also find it hilarious that Limus said this at the start of their response.
For those who are unaware, over the past few months, 3 people have helped spread false information and claims about me.
Yeah, we'll be addressing the part about those being lies. Anyways, let's just get into this already.
I shrugged off his video at first, mostly because I have had more than enough of my fair share of people talking about that video. I don't really care anymore if people didn't like my Angel Dust video, but it felt really disingenuous to hear him say, unlike Limus, I care about sexual abuse victims.
So I don't remember saying this exact line. Not saying I didn't, I just don't remember saying it. I like to think, though, if I did, Limus would have posted said shot instead of this one. For context, though, I was calling them out because they act like they decide what does. It doesn't qualify as an acceptable victim, even though part of my Angel Dust video explains that Angel Dust can.
Yeah, but that tweet. Let's go back to that tweet, right?
Context, though, not saying I didn't.
Fair share of people talking about that video. I don't really care anymore if people didn't like my Angel Dust video, but it felt really disingenuous to hear him say, unlike Limus, I care about sexual abuse victims.
All right, so it's really sad claim to care about victims, but want to decide what qualities qualifies as a good representation and shame anyone who relates to Angel Dust. That's what you said. What he's saying is true.
So I don't remember saying
I really care at first, mostly
lies.
He's saying
anyways,
true.
let's just get into this already.
I don't really care anymore if people didn't like my Angel Dust video, but it felt really disingenuous to hear him say, unlike Limus, I care about sexual abuse victims.
So I don't
Yeah, I mean, that's what you're saying with that.
Not saying I didn't, I just don't remember saying it. I like to think, though, if I did, Limus would have posted said shot instead of this one. For context, though, I was calling them out because they act like they decide what does. It doesn't qualify as an acceptable victim, even though part of my Angel Dust video explains that Angel Dust can be relatable. Which again, I did my research and found sources saying things like Angel being hypersexual can be something a victim may go through. I also find it weird that Limus uses that as justification to bully me, yet the timestamp in the shot
here we fucking go again, already with the bullying.
They used since May 20th of this year. They even acknowledged they're the ones who came to my second video about them to make fun of me.
I want to point out that I did leave a comment under his second video about me, basically poking fun at the fact that he was still talking about me after a month has passed since my Angel Dust video was released.
So Limus is saying they decided to bug me because I was knowingly harassing them nonstop on Twitter, but won't show proof. Don't worry, I'm more than happy to show evidence instead. Let's start with the first tweet I ever made referencing Limus. It was promoting my Angel Dust video, explaining that it discusses why I like Angel and the series. The second tweet was a short from my Angel Dust video, where I mentioned that Limus didn't seem to know Hazbin Hotel is for adults only. This tweet was a bit snarky, I admit, but nothing I'd say was insulting. My third was when the YouTuber Manga Common asked what's the reason not to give a YouTuber a chance. I responded that it was when one knowingly ignores things that disprove their point.
Yeah, he does need some nasal
something I openly criticized Limus for, as
I didn't say it, but when I first heard this guy's voice, I was like, man, this guy sounds pathetic. And I feel vindicated now at the fact that he is.
Things like the words to Poison was saying the song glamorizes SA. Again, this is more of a critique, not an insult.
Hold on. This is you bringing him up out of nowhere, though. Is this when I'm watching them critique something and ignore anything that disproves their what was the rest of the context
of this? My fourth was when I made a video just about Limus and my complaints about them. Like my Angel Dust video, it's just promoting it, nothing else. And now we get to my fifth one, where Limus commented on the video, and I screenshotted what they said before blocking them. You're more than welcome to check for yourself, but between my first tweet about them and them finally interacting with me, it's 5 tweets. The truth is, despite being kicked off their server, I was still respectful in my critiques about them. At no time did I do anything out of line, as Limus is claiming. And if Limus has proof of...
I mean, the second video is clearly, like, going after him for his, his take on it being that it was disingenuous about sexual assault victims, right? That was clearly more hitting him than the first video was.
Of that, they're more than welcome to share it. I'm guessing it's not in their response because it doesn't exist. But here's what does exist. When I made my second video, Limus made this comment that they brought up in their own video. What they don't bring up is that even then, I tried having an honest discussion with them, asking what their complaints were about my video. The only answer I got was...
Okay, hold on. Let's go back. We'll take a look. You're showing screenshots. I talk about whatever I want. I gave you direction to where I responded to the criticisms, and you deleted that comment. Probably didn't delete it. It probably just fell into the realm of the comment section. That kind of just tells me you don't actually want to hear what I have to say, I guess. Limus T. Slime, making up lies doesn't make you right. At no time did you make a comment like that. Oh, and I don't delete my comments. If you have a screenshot of it, I'd bring it up. Okay.
Was them commenting that they did make one, and I deleted it. Let me make this clear about my channel. There are multiple videos where I have people disagree with me. Those are also the longest threads of comments, usually because I'm genuinely curious why someone disagrees with me. Recently, I created a video about my dislike for Korra, and I received 2 comments that openly expressed their disagreement, sparking a lengthy discussion with both of them about their thoughts. Both even commented in the middle of it that I was a nice person to talk to. My point is, Limus is only trying to present this narrative that I'm scared of criticism and will delete any comment that disagrees with me. Which is shocking considering there are multiple videos where not only did someone say they disagreed, but I actually replied to them.
Harping on this,
the funny
but I
thing
could give
is,
a shit about
I was willing to just cut Limus out of my life and move on. Something they addressed in their video, where I did call them a bully, because it did feel like they did bully me for saying I disliked their Angel Dust video, leading to Limus showing how they responded to that.
But when he made a tweet saying that I was a bully and had no interest in debating him, I quote tweeted him with the screenshot showing what he posted in my Discord server.
I also know everyone wants me to address this, so let's get this out of the way. Yes, I did post 2 things about Nami in a chat dedicated to discussing characters like that. I still stand by saying that at the time, the name was Waifu Chat, and I've been saying it for months prior. Regardless of the name though, it was true that I sent 2 images. I didn't see the problem with posting them. The first was a wall scroll I bought of Nami in a bikini. I purchased this wall scroll back in 2014 at a convention called Otakon. Not only was this officially licensed from the distributors of One Piece, and you could see the trademark in the bottom corner, but the poster was one of the ones openly hanging in the merch area for wall scrolls. My point is that I didn't view the poster as an issue because it's Nami in a bikini. It's not fan art, it's official art licensed by the creators and distributors of the series. I only wanted to show that I've been a fan of Nami for years and bought said poster because of that. As for the other posts that were screenshots of Nami from One Piece Odyssey, I didn't see the problem with them. And even now, I still don't. First, these images did not show any explicit content. While I agree that one is a close-up of Nami's chest, she is still fully clothed in said image.
Yeah,
additionally, I doubt that was the real issue,
is.
considering Limus had the same problem with the wall scroll, stating it was one of the reasons
Now,
they banned me in their tweet.
I would like to see like what the rules were. Did the rules come after or before?
Second, it's hypocritical to get mad at me for this post, but knowingly allowing worse images to be posted in the same chat, while also openly reacting to them. Just to give you an idea for anyone who hasn't seen them yet, these were some of the ones Kaz showed in his video.
Me and my mods do our best to make the server a safe space for people. Marco Strange is over the age of 30 and he was posting lewd images of Nami in a server that had a large portion of people below the age of 15.
I agree that this was a hypocritical
thing that Limus said about making her server a safe space for minors is a total lie. Why? Well, how about I provide you some screenshots of Limus not doing the job she claims she's doing? In fact, let me provide you with screenshots showing Limus and their fans posting lewd shit and making sexual comments themselves. Turns out, she was throwing stones in a glass house the entire time. Rules for fee, but not for me.
All this accomplished for Limus was showing they're a hypocrite who overreacted to an anime girl in a bikini. They can't even argue that what I posted was wrong, considering what else was allowed in that server. Especially since Limus first responded to the doc, which has been up for months prior. Their argument for why they let that happen was that the number of minors at the time was low, and the youngest was 16 years old. Again, hypocritical. If they were just a hypocrite, that would be one thing. However, Limus also manipulates any situation if they think that will make them look better. Take this part for example.
He started saying that the images he sent on my server were fine because there wasn't any nudity, and that all he did was share anime girls in my server. He has also gone on record saying that the channel he sent the images to was called Waifu Chat.
Limus is knowingly leaving out the context of my tweet, and it makes sense when you see it. Someone replied to me claiming that I was posting not safe for work Nami art in the server, while also claiming Nami was underage. On top of that, they claim Limus had proof of this. Considering Limus has never posted this supposed proof, and outright hides this in their response video, it's obvious this was a lie. And before someone says that this is someone else claiming this, I know from Kaz's video that they were knowingly making claims similar to those about me in their Discord server.
Mind you that Limus was doing the same shit Marco did, but worse. And she also called Marco a racist pedophile on Discord at one point. A little bit of a fun fact.
At the time of writing this script, I discovered that Limus had deleted their server. While it is gone, it doesn't take away from the fact Limus openly committed defamation against me. It's even
Oh God. Really? Defamation now?
Funnier considering the very thing the person accused me of was something Limus did on their Blue Sky account.
Him trying to diminish what he did made it very clear to me that he's a liar who is willing to twist the truth as much as possible to make himself look better.
Bullshit. You're the one twisting the narrative to make yourself as a victim, Limus. And while we are talking about supposedly caring about SC victims and track records, let's mention that Limus had a not safe for work account on Blue Sky where she posted her porn drawings. And she posted a porn of Sonic in his werewolf form. And there I remind you, Sonic is 15 to 16 years old.
All of them. Burning
Bravo,
this
Limus.
community to the ground.
Bravo!
By the way, they also deleted their Blue Sky accounts. Unfortunately, the lies continue from Limus as they accuse me of being transphobic.
This then resulted in now deleted tweets of him dropping his respect for my pronouns and starts purposely misgendering me and crashing out.
Yes, I did call Limus he during said crash out. I was unaware at the time, and I wasn't going to go out of my way to read the bio on their Twitter, since they just made it clear they thought the best response to my fair criticism against them was to laugh at me. At least I've gone out of my way to delete those tweets, and also edit any comments that had that. Unlike Limus, I try to be respectable, even if the person isn't deserving of it. What's crazier to me, though, is that Limus tries to continue saying I'm transphobic by saying this.
I do think him saying that he cares about sexual abuse victims is tone deaf given his track record, especially given how he went out of his way to heart transphobic comments about me. and seeing how a lot of trans and queer people in general supported his video without even knowing this is disheartening.
Before I get into that comment, did Limus just generalize...
Didn't we just watch this video when we watched Limus's video on it?
Trans people as SA victims? They literally went from talking about how I openly claim to care about victims of SA to bringing up what they consider proof of me being transphobic. Either they generalize the two together, or this is just another example of them not being that bright. Honestly, either is believable. As for the comment itself, notice that Limus is showing that not only did I heart it, I also replied to it. Their hiding it is another example of manipulating the story to fit their narrative, because it shows why I hearted it. Spoiler, it wasn't what they claimed. In my reply, I mentioned that I was also a fan of Ralphie May, whom I watched a lot on Comedy Central. Besides that, I agreed with them about Limus being a hypocrite, something I brought up multiple times in this video already, and will continue bringing up. Again, Limus is either trying to force a narrative despite clear evidence to the contrary, or jumping to conclusions because I didn't want to read their bio after bullying me for making a video that critiques them. Which again, Limus did bully me, and the fact that they're pretending they didn't is disgusting.
But when he made a tweet saying that I was a bully and had no interest in debating him, I quote-tweeted him with the screenshot showing what he posted in my Discord server.
It's kind of weird that Limus is claiming the reason they did this was because I called them a bully and said they didn't want to debate me. However, they've done nothing but prove that was precisely what they did, and I've been right this whole time. When the video went up, Limus made a comment to laugh at me, which they admit was wrong. Besides that, they also lied when I tried to get them to give me an actual critique of my video, saying I had deleted it. Don't you think that if this was true, that Limus did give me a critique and I deleted it, wouldn't that be part of this response? It's the best argument to show I'm a liar about wanting to debate them, since it would make me look like a hypocrite. Guess it's better to just ignore that too, since they either don't have proof of this, or don't want to apologize.
Most of them are master debaters for sure. Yeah, that's definitely the debate of the century too.
Apologize for outright lying about me.
Oh, I don't want to even think what would happen.
Speaking of, Limus tries to apologize for escalating the situation between the two of us. Keyword, tries.
A lot of my behavior during this time period was wrong, and
a lot of hands-on debate in that situation
that deserves to be criticized. There's no doubt that I did play a part in the escalation of my situation with him. Pointless bickering did happen with me and him, and my participation in it did not help either side and only made things worse, and I apologize for that.
First, speak for yourself, Limus. I agree this was unnecessary drama, but it did prove my point about you being a bully. Instead of having a discussion with me, something I was open to having, you decided the best response was to make fun of me and openly lie about me. It did make one of us look bad, though. You. I also refuse to believe this apology. Considering Limus's track record and knowingly making things worse, something I will come back to, I find it hard to believe Limus is legitimately sorry
I bet you none of these guys have a good track record
during this. Also, if they did respond to this, they'd most likely say it was an apology meant to their fans instead, even though I'm the one they openly harassed for months. Even admitting things like their comments
I didn't harass him, he harassed me. we have a society failed to bully the society who rejects off the internet. Oh, I mean, they can't they can't even. Oh, I didn't bully you, you bullied me. This is one of those situations where you're looking at it and you're like, we need to bring bullying back.
About me, we're out of line.
I have also made 2 pre-stream chat videos on my VOD channel in which me and a friend or 2 would talk about Marco and laugh at his crash out. These videos have since been privated, mostly because I don't like stooping to the level of these people, and keeping them up felt very unprofessional on my part.
I really don't understand how this is stooping to my level. I never made a stream making fun of you. I am sure I called you out for crashing out when you deactivated Twitter during the Alex Brightman thing, but that was me pointing out that you can't handle the drama that you purposely started. Again, we'll get there soon. Also, I never watched those streams, but apparently, one of them made fun of my book. I'm curious what that was supposed to accomplish.
Oh no,
I made that book way before
I
interacted with Limus. It had no relevance to anything between us. All I can assume is that they used it as more ways to make fun of me because that's how they handle anyone criticizing them.
Yeah, that's what you can do sometimes. I mean, the art on this book already looks... Roxy, Kitsu, and the Desert Vixens. Roxy has traveled through this barren world for years. All this time, it's just been her and her robot companion Volt. Together they travel on her hover bike, which she made herself. However, all of that changes once she crosses paths with the Salvagers. Not only does she run into this unknown army, but she also runs into a mysterious man named Bradley, who was captured by them. Join Roxy in her journey as she learns more about the Salvagers and asks if she wants to continue traveling alone in this world. She may have survived this long, but what happens when it becomes too much to handle on her own? I don't even know what to say about like that synopsis. That little blurb. I'm dyslexic, and I think that was pretty poorly written.
To be fair, they are right about it being unprofessional. I would give them credit for admitting it was, but they also proved that they love being unprofessional. Before getting to that, though, Limus addresses me and everyone
on YouTube. Who gives a fuck about being professional?
Critiquing them.
But some of the things that he and others have said is that I didn't like Angel Dust because I didn't like the way he coped with his abuse. This is true, but a lot of the people, including him, summarized my problem with that being that I don't like how Angel Dust copes with his abuse by being hypersexual.
I don't really want to cover this again, because I've talked about this already in my Angel Dust video. I would literally just go over the same points I made in that video, which were my issues with Limus' critique of Angel Dust. I would also prefer it if you watched that instead of wanting me to repeat it, because at least back then, I was still respectable to them. Now I can't promise I would have the same amount of respect, since I now know Limus is a bully, a liar, a hypocrite, and a manipulator. Now we get into one of the worst things Limus did during all of this. The real reason I put myself back in the narrative.
Next, you're going to tell me he kicked a kitten.
I think most assume I'm still in because of how Limus treated me, but it's actually because of how they treated Alex Brightman and others at the convention they went to.
Me and Vex and a lot of my other friends found it funny.
I wonder if the Salvagers will be an ice analogy. Oh, I don't know. You'll have to pick it up and read it for me, Kimoji.
I only really showed up at the convention wearing the sign as an inside joke with me and my followers, hence why I made the tweet showing off the autograph. Of course, that tweet got controversy and even got a response from Vivzipop saying how much she disliked it.
The whole thing comes across as tone deaf from Limus. They act like the main issue here was getting Alex Brightman to sign something inappropriate. While that was an issue, and I will address that later, there were worse issues than this. Something I know Limus is aware of, considering it was part of my fake apology video. First, it's a thumbnail of a video they made. However, the most noticeable part of the thumbnail is the middle, which is a picture of Angel Dust being essayed from episode 4 of Hazbin Hotel. It's the one episode that even some fans have trouble watching because it can be triggering for them to watch Angel being assaulted.
We're so upset that her cardboard fucking cutout could have triggered somebody.
Or breaking down and admitting they want to be broken so that Val will leave them alone. Despite Limus claiming they do care about victims, they knowingly walked around with this around their neck, in front of potential fans who are also victims who get triggered by that episode. On top of that, it's also creepy considering the show is 18+, and I'm pretty sure this was a public con they went to, meaning there's a big chance the minors also saw this image. Again, hypocritical, considering they wanted to complain about the Nami pictures, one of which was from a game rated T for teen, but...
Let me ask you, like... This image, right? It's clearly like something going on. You don't know what that character is if you've never seen it before. And yeah, you could say there's some thing that may be sexual to it. It could also be that they're, I don't know, captured. Yeah, he's really trying to make up for the One Piece character picture. Or this. Under boob. Cleavage shot. Like, come on, man. Like, I get it. I don't think this is egregious online. I don't think you should have posted it in a Discord server with minors, but that's because I'm kind of a fucking prude. But he's really, really trying to make this cardboard cutout with a picture on it like work. You notice he's no longer talking about how it was assaulting the or not that he said it directly, that it was disingenuous to have the artist do it. It's all about this now.
I wanted to complain about the Nami pictures, one of which was from a game rated T for teen, but is fine showing an image of a character being essayed from a show specifically targeted to adults. Second, they were told that this image was inappropriate because there were children at this con. Limus's response was to laugh and slut-shame cosplayers. This was one of the main reasons I returned to the
slut-shame. Come on, bud. God, man, I must do a lot more slut-shaming than I believe I did.
Limus situation, and I refuse to believe someone who would openly say this cares about anyone who's ever been a victim. Just so there's no confusion on this topic, and anyone tries saying they didn't mean that, PlannedParenthood.org defines slut-shaming as...
Oh, no, he didn't bring up Planned Parenthood, did he? Slut-shame. He's defining slut-shaming to try and prove his point. This dude's cooked. Slut-shaming is accusing someone, usually girls and women, of being too sexual and using that as an excuse to humiliate, bully, harass them. The reason slut-shamers target people is to make themselves feel more powerful by putting others down.
As, quote, accusing someone, usually girls and women, of being too sexual, and using that as an excuse to humiliate, bully, or harass them. The reason slut-shamers target people is to make themselves feel more powerful by putting other people down. They also add examples of...
I can't believe that he could read that with a straight face.
Slut-shaming, which include calling someone a slut and demeaning someone for wearing revealing clothes, regardless of what they're actually wearing. Slut-shaming is also a way to discredit actual victims, and I think someone who claims to care about victims would know that. It really says a lot that Limus knowingly ignored these points, despite claiming they want to address all the, quote, lies about them. Is this them silently agreeing they did slut-shame cosplayers and not wanting to address it? I mean, if they think this is a lie, I expect this to be part of their response. The closest we come to them acknowledging they made anyone at the con uncomfortable is their fake apology.
A lot of people were upset over me doing this, and if you thought that it was irresponsible, then I want to apologize.
This wasn't people
my intention
at the con,
was to make
though,
a few
right?
of my friends and followers laugh. I wasn't expecting it to reach the amount of attention that it got.
The reason this apology is fake is that it's a non-apology, or a backhanded apology.
Of course.
Basically, Limus is saying sorry because people want them to, not because they think they've actually done something wrong. That's the whole point of them saying...
You know, this would go real hard if we were talking about the grooming allegations.
If you thought it was irresponsible. It's taking away their responsibility and putting it on the people they made uncomfortable instead. It would be like me saying, if you feel that my posting pictures of Nami was inappropriate, then I apologize. It's fake because I don't think I'd done anything wrong, especially with how I now know about what Limus allowed in that chat. I don't believe in giving anyone a fake apology. I would only open myself up to criticism that I'm only saying sorry because it's what people want me to do, not because I actually feel sorry. Moving on, Limus tries to explain why the autograph itself wasn't out of line.
However, I did not harass or even threaten Alex Brightman into signing my thumbnail. People at these meet and greets.
I want to hear what he says about this specific part, because I have a feeling I know what it's going to be like.
Ability to refuse to sign anything that is given to them. Him saying no to signing the thumbnail would not have caused a scene like people act like it would.
Yes, these guests at cons do have the ability to refuse to sign certain things. However, Limus forgets that going to conventions is a big moneymaker for VAs, and many don't want to rock the boat by starting controversy, which would affect people wanting to go up to them for...
What controversy is there going to be from fucking Limus the Slime? Are you serious? Like, he's so well known and scary that this voice actor was afraid that he might say something negative if they didn't sign his stupid little or her stupid little fucking cardboard cutout.
Or autographs, or even the ability to be invited to these cons. It's also laughable that Limus says this about being accused of wanting to start drama if Brightman had refused. Just a quick reminder, this is the same person that got mad that I made a video critiquing them and admitted they acted inappropriately by escalating the situation between us. It's hard to argue they wouldn't have done that when they admitted to doing that in the same video with someone else. I honestly could picture the smile on their face had Brightman said no, and them turning it into the cast being scared of criticism towards the show. What's funnier is that Limus wants us to take their word for it that Alex Brightman was cool with it.
I asked him if he could sign my thumbnail, and I explained to him that it was a video I made criticizing Hazbin Hotel. Alex found the idea of the sign funny and had no issue signing it, and adding, "Keep throwing sea rats," which is a reference to my streams.
Steam notification?
So we're supposed to take Limus's word on this? How many times exactly have I pointed out they're lying about something in this video alone? It's not ridiculous to think that Limus isn't the most trustworthy person, so I'm not going to take their word for it.
Oh, you heard the Steam notification.
Limus is ignoring the possibility that Viv did talk to Alex about this situation, and responded the way she did because of it. I have no doubt.
Dude, this like listening to this guy, I gotta rewind it because I wasn't listening it. I love this game. I don't know that it's gonna make like my top 10, but it is a lot of fun to play. So any of y'all who liked FTL and Warhammer and thought it would be good together, check this out. It's still in early access. Alex Brightman is an innocent, guileless little baby man of 38. That's right. That's right. Let's see. Let's go back a little.
To my streams.
So we're supposed to take Limus's word on this? How many times exactly have I pointed out they're lying about something in this video alone? It's not ridiculous to think that Limus isn't the most trustworthy person,
I mean,
so
you're
I'm not going to
saying he's
take their
lying,
word
sure.
for it. Also, Limus is ignoring the possibility that Viv did talk to Alex about this situation, and responded the way she did because of it.
Now we're just like, well, they might have talked about it, you know? And that's why she came after it. Even though it's, from what I'm being told, I won't say 100%, that she clearly crashes out about anything that's criticizing Hazbin Hotel.
I have no doubt Alex Brightman was nice because he didn't want to start drama, but it was still Limus choosing to put him in that situation. Limus did all that because they thought it would be a cool pic of them to post on Twitter and brag about. Thankfully, fans instantly called them out for it, myself included. Following this, Limus goes into the Jaded situation, and the accusations against Brandon Rogers.
In my tweet supporting the victim, I said that grooming comes in many forms and it isn't always sexual. In this case, I believe that it was financial grooming. But because most people only know one definition of grooming, people including Marco have ran with the claim that I called Brandon Rogers a pedophile.
I have never said they called Brandon Rogers that. Every time I have brought up this situation, I use the same term they use, groomer. Again, if they had proof of this, I'm pretty sure we would have seen it in this response. Also, Limus is missing the actual problem people had with them calling Rogers that.
I don't believe that Brandon Rogers is a pedophile, and I never made that claim. I do believe that he took advantage of a young fan's admiration to try and get free commission work instead of paying them.
At no time has Limus ever explained how they came to that conclusion that Brandon Rogers is a groomer. The original tweet for the supposed victim doesn't even claim that Rogers is one. This narrative originated from Limus, who repeatedly preached it, and when asked why, they wouldn't explain.
Falsely accusing Brandon Rogers of grooming, which, by the way, when I confronted them in their comment section in their recent video about it, they fucking doubled down. Limus responded by just doubling down and stating that Brandon manipulated the 15-year-old to make an edit for him. You dumb motherfucker! Which is not what happened. But Limus refuses to let this narrative go.
Even in this response, they still don't explain their reasoning. Just repeat the same lines. It's also worth noting that Jada's tweet at no time accused Rogers of that. However, Limus probably had the effect of making people think Jada was claiming Rogers was one, which is honestly sad considering that Limus hijacked their story, and they probably got more harassment than if Limus had taken Jada's story to spread a narrative about Brandon Rogers'
getting harassed. I'm so tired of hearing that word from this fucking dude.
Someone. I also don't believe Limus when they apologized to Jaden for this.
I'm sorry that you aren't able to feel like people can listen to what you have gone through. You deserve safety and not to be taken advantage of. My takeaway of what happened to you may not be your takeaway, and I don't want to be speaking on your behalf. And I'm sorry if that's what I did.
If Limus really believed that, then why did they take Jaden's story and put words in their mouths? Again, at no time does Jaden accuse Brandon Rogers of that. That was Limus who started that. The worst part is that, if Jaden really was the victim of this, Limus forcing themselves into the narrative has only made people more skeptical. Limus used their story about Brandon Rogers as a way to start a narrative that wasn't true. And I refuse to believe a person who cares about victims and thinks it's...
So this comment where he's saying there's many different types of forums, the thread about my experience with one YouTuber / voice actor who was one of my mutuals and most likely knows. Like, I can't possibly know what's going on in here with this, but I can't believe anyone in this situation. Like, he's overplaying this right here.
Their story to tell would openly hijack it for
hijacking it because he made a comment about it? Fucking brother.
Their own personal use. To close off my section of their response, Limus addresses me directly. While they go over the same complaints they brought up, there's one part I want to address the most.
Marco, I think you are a liar and a grifter. I believe you care more about getting attention on your videos rather than helping out sexual abuse victims.
Before addressing why Limus is wrong, I want to say something to all the people who have supported me back when I first started with my Angel Dust video. When I made my first Limus videos, I never intended to speak for anyone who felt invalidated by Limus's video. I did think it was important to bring up that SA victims can be like Angel Dust, but I never intended to speak for any victims who happen to relate to them. Since those videos have been up, I've received comments from people thanking me for making those videos. One comment even went into detail about the reasons they, like Angel Dust, masked themselves to downplay what they went through. To all of you who freely shared these comments on my videos, thank you. I can't imagine it was easy making these comments, and when Limus was harassing me and spreading false narratives about me, it reminded me why I made those videos in the first place, and I don't regret making them. However, I did feel upset that so many were freely sharing their story, while I wasn't sharing mine. And part of the reason I did make a response sooner was that I didn't think I was ready to share my story. I want to clarify that I don't feel like I'm being forced to tell this to anyone. Yes, Limus did just assume I only did this because I was a grifter, but if I wasn't ready, I would tell everyone that I did have my own story, but wasn't ready to tell it. I'm sharing this now because I want to, and I'm ready to. Growing up, I was bullied a lot and treated like crap. Not just by kids at school, but even my own...
I'm shocked.
own family. I had friends who openly abused and mistreated me constantly. They would drag me into their own drama, which I shouldn't have been involved in. It would guilt me into doing things for them. When they were finally done with me, they would immediately say things like the only reason they were my friend was because they felt bad because I was a retard. I'm sorry if that's hurtful for anyone to hear watching this, but I want to make it clear what
I already failed emoji. Oh, man. Oh, don't. Things you shouldn't let people on the internet know.
exactly I went through. Sadly, it wasn't much better on my family side. I had parents who constantly argued, and I was usually dragged into the middle of most arguments to pick a side. It's why I'm also sensitive to loud noises, because of how triggering they are to me. My dad also told me at one point that I was a mistake, and made it clear that no matter what, he didn't want to...
Oh God, listen, this is a serious subject. You don't. Oh, I'm going to hell. What are these honest content? Oh.
To be around me. Whenever we did things like see a movie, we would stop at a friend's house for hours so that he could talk to them, making it clear he didn't want to use that day bonding with his own son. Whenever I tried to complain about this to relatives, I was told I was ungrateful and that my dad actually cared despite never showing it. Keep in mind, my dad is a bastard who not only physically assaulted my mom, but openly cheated on her. The last time I even talked to my dad, he also...
It all happened to him. My goodness.
also threatened me to my face. Those same relatives who defended him got quiet when I told them about that. The reason I got myself involved in the situation was that I am a victim of bullying and have been abused physically, mentally, and emotionally. I will clarify, though, that I'm not a victim of SA. However, abuse is still abuse, and it's not right for anyone to go through that, especially by someone who openly claims to care about victims, but will treat them like trash the minute they disagree with them. Not only has Limus bullied me, but they bullied others, even going so far as to bully them off sites like Twitter. Months ago, someone posted that Limus bullied their friend off the site. I will admit I have no proof of this.
Okay, then why are you even bringing it the fuck up?
The person didn't have any proof either. However, Limus wants to push that we should believe victims. And from personal experience...
Oh no, believe victims. Oh, why don't we believe evidence? Because anyone can come up and say these things. And as we've seen lately, when people actually started looking into it, a lot of time that people could lie. Should you immediately dismiss accusations? No. But there needs to be something of merit for it. Gee.
It's believable that Limus would knowingly work to bully someone off Twitter, especially since they made a stream making fun of me when I deactivated my account after they tried bullying me. In the end, Limus doesn't care about anyone, even the victims they pretend to speak
these guys,
for.
Like,
they care about what pushes...
It's just a sea of pathetic. It's a who's more pathetic battle. No, I'm more pathetic because I was bullied as a kid and my dad told me he didn't love me. He says, take a shot every time he says bullying. I don't want to die of alcohol poisoning.
Their narrative. If you dare disagree with them, you become public enemy number one in their head. It's actually terrifying how much they remind me of my father, a stubborn jerk who pretends to...
Oh no! He's having like PTSD flashbacks every time Limus tweets him or makes a response to his criticisms, and it triggers him and sets him off. Really?
Never wrong, and pretends they could act like that constantly. They even had people outright defending them and treated them as if they had done nothing wrong, similar to how people on my dad's side would do the same for him. Unfortunately for Limus, they eventually pushed everyone away, and now they don't have that anymore. To close this video off, I want to address Limus directly. Also, I'll put it in a short, since they're too lazy to watch me address all the things they said about me. Limus, you're a horrible person, a bully, a liar, a hypocrite, and a manipulator. You have it in your head that you're always the victim, when in reality, you're always the villain. I don't regret anything related to how I handled the situation. If anything, I'm happy you knowingly attacked me for the Nami photos. Not only did it make it so that you couldn't try to manipulate me, but it also showed how much of a hypocrite you really are. I made my first two videos to only start a discussion about Angel as a character and Hazbin Hotel in general. Since then, I've made videos to call you out for how horrible you are, and I have no problem continuing to make videos about you in the future. Yes, I want this to be the end, but that doesn't mean I'll just ignore you when you try to act like the victim when you do something wrong. You also have never known why I got involved. And the fact that you will just assume things to keep insulting me is more proof that you only care about causing drama. I got involved because you're a bully, and I was tired of bullies back in high school. It's also sad that you're in your 20s and still acting like a high school bully by going around spreading lies and name-calling anyone you dislike. I won't waste my breath telling you to do better because I know that's impossible for you. Instead, I'll spend it telling anyone I can to avoid manipulators like you. Because unlike you, I do care about victims.
Woo, he got a little angry there at the end. A little angry boy. So by far, that was the most pathetic deep dive I've ever gone into on a channel. All of these people are pathetic. All of them have a victim complex. All of them just, I need to just get offline.
I want to introduce you to a world of total equality.
That's Kinchy stuff. I've been going like hardcore on Kinchy stuff here lately. Play the game offline, even though... Oh, whoops. Damage to the Imperial Idol near the jump point. As soon as you notice it primes its weapons and begins to shoot. Okay. Boop, boop, boop. We're going to finish up. I'm like a couple away from the last boss. So I figure I'll play through this and just chat, because I like me chats with people. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this. Yeah, deploy that. You go here. This gun has actually been kind of worthless to my, because everything's had such high shields. Oh man, that was good. I got some other stuff to watch, some stuff on Fucked Up Games. I found a video on what's it called? Bear with me. Gotta look into my little docket area. Playlists. Black Souls. I've heard a lot of interesting things about Black Souls. So I figure we might watch that. There's also one that I find very interesting that I want to look into on Nicholas Diorio, the Worst Commentary channel. So we may pull that one up, because I was a fan of Nick on his comeback. Like, I didn't know the guy coming up, but when the what was it, Mama Max drama happened, and he came up and started coming bigger, I liked it. I enjoyed the channel. Then the whole Bo Black situation with Augie RFC coming back. Again, these are all new people to me, but I enjoyed watching the commentary. But then, like, Nicholas Diorio has just kind of become this, like, Ethan simp. And it's just nothing. All his content is Ethan. So I, like, kind of fell off watching it all together, because I was just so tired of seeing Ethan Hassan drama. So I went ahead and, said, I'm not watching him anymore. And it still pops up, like, the notifications for it. But now it's like, didn't Augie get banned? Did he get banned from the Discord? I remember seeing a tweet. I haven't looked at Augie in a while. Did he get banned off of Twitter or off of YouTube? Because that would be interesting. I wonder what he could have done to get banned. He's kind of come closer to hanging out more. Not really. He does his own thing. But him and Chud tend to agree on more than they disagree. And I haven't even watched Chud in forever, because I've been looking for stuff really just on for my own channel. And sometimes when I watch Chud, I realize, never mind, YouTube restored it. Okay, good. Maybe someone trying to take him down. Some of the content that's come out of there has been great, but like I said, some of the guys have, Nick being one of them, is just like, what the fuck content is this? So we may look at that one, because it interests me, and it just came up recently. About a 40-minute video. So that, if depending on how much I have to talk about it, and I figure I should, we may watch that one. That whole drama, that whole back and forth, like, Ethan is pretty pathetic. But the problem is I think they're all pathetic. And if I call any of them pathetic, the others think that anyone else thinks I'm some kind of defender of these people. During my time on the internet, I noticed that whenever people get political and drama, they either fall off or pop off. Yeah, well, I mean, Nick very much popped off. So, I mean, he fucking exploded around the content, but now it's just like so fucking, like, he's basically just gone to excuse me, Ethan's audience and that political audience now. So no fun for me. I like my slop. Sloppy, sloppy slop. I love to eat that shit up. So, man, I'm gonna fucking smash the shit out of that this boss this time. Boop, boop, boop. Though this fight is taking way too long. I need like a better gun than this one, because this one is just, it's not doing it for me. It's not doing it for me. I could probably replace these two as well, but it's a crazy world. Also, Utterly Noah put out a video on the chick I've been talking about in Discord that we are gonna watch a video on with Simon and Nasmer. He complained about Markiplier. Is this recently? Seeing people worship H3H3 like he wasn't a giga woke like a year ago is pretty cringe. Yeah, it's like completely forgetting how he's turned tail so many different times. It's like, what what are we talking about? He just changes his mind like any other dude. It was old. Gotcha. Missile template, ship armaments. We're gonna go there before we fight the big boy. Yeah, we're definitely getting those hull repairs. Continue. Warp. We'll go this way. H3 used to be edgy, then became woke, then went through the right-wing grift, then went through the white-green grift. Yeah, I mean, I remember watching the beginning of a lot of that drama, him and Hassan break up, and you know, it is what it is, I suppose. But it's just content that's constantly going, and it's just not even interesting anymore. Nothing new is being said. It's just the same videos over and over and over again about the same people being bad. Like, what do you even say about it at this point? I might replace it with that, because that'll do some damage to shields. What's this micro disruptor? The ion blaster. It needs power 3 though. This needs power 2. I don't have 60 to even buy that one, unless these will give me what I need. Nope, they won't. That was worthless. What do we got here? 40. Ignored shields, projectile damage, ion damage. I already have that one. Missile template, shiv, hull breaches, and fire. I think we're good. I think we're going to go into the final boss straight up. Like, how is it any different from iDubbbz going woke? It's not really. I mean, his was just as pathetic. I think what got iDubbbz is how he like went on all of these black channels and like apologized and did like white you know, forgiveness and all that other shit. And I think people were like a lot, like, I think his fan base was a lot angrier too about his change than Ethan's. I don't know. It's all pretty terrible. Okay, I need you, heavy disruptor. We're gonna hit that. Start popping that sucker off. Let me see if we can actually beat this one. Boop. Let's add here. After the video defending Anissa, it was all downhill. Yeah, I don't. People keep, you know, he keeps trying to say that Anissa wasn't his downfall when clearly she was his downfall. Let's see if I can get that big boy on my side. Oh yeah, get him. Get him. Da, 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 da. But I mean I mean, how do you go from being the guy who says the N-word to being one of the most like lefty woke content creators out there completely canning your career and just apologizing. Like, I get it. We grow up. You don't say those things like you did before. Some of us grow up. But to go on like a flogging session where you're just like flogging yourself in front of everybody to, I don't know, make yourself look make yourself feel better about it, or so that what fans will like you. I don't know what he was going for there. Oh, they're protecting it now, huh? We'll let that get hit. Boop, boop, boop. We should win this, actually. Hit that one. Oh no, who's dying? Why is he dying? Get over here, get over here. He's probably he probably saw Leafy get banned again and overcorrected. Yeah, I mean, I think it was definitely an overcorrection, and that could be very true. So, but I mean, was the end result any different, really, than Leafy's, his channel being dead? Ooh, what was that? I don't have any more of those. We'll just keep, let's move it to here. Oh God, zombies everywhere. Didn't expect that to happen. Get back here, save these guys. Get in there, get in there. Get in there, fix it, fix it, oh no, get rid of these guys. I need oxygen. I need oxygen. What was worse is when he tried to bring back the content cop stuff, but for lefties. It was so bad. Uh-oh. There we go. Let's get back to it. Oh yeah, I don't have that one anymore. I might not beat this one. I might just lose. Let's get Big Boy. Let's see if we can get Big Boy. More. Let's put them there. Let's just force them all into one room. Force them all into one room. Content cop for the same side that preaches ACAB. Oh. What a world. What a world. Get back in here. Get back in here and save your shit. We're about to do the exact same thing to them. Uh-oh. Yeah, we may actually end up losing over here on this one. Okay, I need you to hit the ship. Oh, yep, I just lost most of my crew. We're not going to make it, guys. You gotta have to rebrand it to content social worker. Oh. But you know, there's like, I don't know a lot of those YouTube channels from back then, but there were other edgy ones that managed to, you know, do okay. So it's not like he couldn't have changed course on his content. Yeah, we're not gonna win this. We're gonna keep trying, but we're not gonna win this. Let's get that up and running. We need our weapons up and running, so let's work on that first. Big Boy, get Big Boy, please. I can't even get my shields back up. I need you off of that door and over here. Oh, it doesn't actually. Okay, fair enough. Unseen energy stirring. Oh no. Get them. Get in there, Exile. Can't you manipulate the doors to have... oh, that's right. I should have been doing that. I keep forgetting that I can open doors to suck them out of the vents. It's like one of those things that I just don't remember until it's too late. Oh god, oh god. Give me a view of my ship again. Get me a view of my ship. Yeah, we're not gonna make it. You can put the fires out with that. Yeah, I generally remember that, but I always forget. Nope. We're cooked on this one though. Get in here. No weapons. I can't even shoot at them. Boop, boop, boop. There's a lot of little combinations you can do. The first one I did, I actually used a like a swarm technique. I would build robots and then just constantly keep sending them out to the ships and you know, keep shooting the ship at the same time. And it got to the point that it was so overwhelming. I tried to do that a little bit with this road, but I should have gotten better guns for it. Anyway, that's us losing. That's the continued run trying to beat that one. There's other like middle bosses or like semi-bosses throughout it that can unlock things like ships. You get all sorts of course, different types of people to work with. The witch is the first one that I beat. The mutant always seems interesting too. Cybernetics. This is a paladin, the priestess. So just tons of different ways to play. Yeah. Doors are the strongest utility in FTL. See, I wish, like, it makes me want to go back and get FTL. That and Cloak. Yeah, it makes me want to go back and at least try FTL and see what the difference is. Anyway, it is 1 o'clock. I have gone an hour over tonight for this content. So I want you guys to, if you haven't already, like the stream. If you are feeling super generous, as always, subscribe to the channel where we go over more content. I'll be back on Monday to bring you your regularly scheduled slop. FTL is a lot more simple than Void Wars, but it is the same concept. Yeah, I've seen it, and it was always one that seemed interesting. It's just one that I never bought for it. But anyways, guys, y'all have a wonderful night, and we will see you next time.